Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube right now. We'd love it if you join us. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live wherever you watch your podcast. Yeah, I know podcasts used to be audio. They're not anymore. Wake up, Grandma.
Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Wake up, Grandma.
Should we get right into some weird job?
Yeah, let's not waste really professional people's times. Ladies and gentlemen, the original Weird Job Wednesday theme song. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
I forgot how embarrassing it is.
Yeah, that was excruciating for me.
While the
I
guest
had to
is
sit there and watch our guests smile.
I don't think I've ever been more excited to be on a podcast after that sort of.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to hear.
On Zoom with us, Vice President of Soccer Operations for the Orlando Pride, Haley Carter's on the line. How you doing, Haley?
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you guys.
Hey,
Thanks
we
for having me on.
we got a real sports powerhouse on here now. So we're kicking our asses around here a little bit. Let's talk sports.
So, Haley, what does the Vice President of Soccer Operations for the Orlando Pride do?
So I'm responsible for overseeing the technical staff, which is our coaching staff.
Okay.
As well as our medical and performance staffs. And all of our operations staff. So our director of team operations, the logistics gurus, the people who really run the show behind the scenes on the soccer side, our equipment managers, player affairs manager, the individual on our team that keeps the players sorted and organized and supported. And yeah, so my job is soccer.
Yeah, and is it?
Well, keeping the soccer running, is that's seemingly almost way harder than on the because the players are gonna play the game, but
I would put it like this: how difficult or how difficult is it to concentrate on winning games, soccer, and day-to-day operations, while the other things, is it a wall of just distractions that swirl around you, and those
we set pretty good boundaries. I would say, a lot of people ask me, because I'm a bit of a twofer. I'm vice president and sporting director, and I used to be general manager, which is just a very American term for a sporting director.
Right.
And a lot of fans and folks on the outside think, that it's all player contracts and moving and shaking in the market and trades and transfers and that's sexy stuff, but it's such a small amount of my resources and how I spend my time. It's much more strategic and holistic leadership and leading people. And so that's a good question. How difficult is it? I do have to float between, 35,000 feet, and then we'll get pulled into the weeds sometimes to help navigate some issues or things that come up. And if for no other reason than to provide top cover and advice for our staff.
And the Pride is successful. Yeah. So I'm sorry not to interrupt, but see the Pride, and I think, and this is a great problem to have, is that we have a team that I feel like this, and you'll be able to tell me if this is true or not. I feel like the Pride, as soon as we got the Pride as a professional, women's, soccer team here in Orlando, they were beloved, and then they went nothing but up.
Tom Sermani before, God bless him, he's gone now, but he was my neighbor. He would invite us out to games. There was this homegrown love that, ladies in this area, men too, families they wanted more soccer. And then with the addition of Seb Hines, another good friend of Tom and I, that were this guy, he was so good on our show. And then we interviewed him back in the day as a player, and he was so kind to us, would give us so much access and all of this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it harder because you guys seemingly are successful? There are a lot of women's franchises that mean so far less. The Pride is big, though.
It's been a journey for the Pride to be successful on the field and off the field as well. We like each other. You talk about Seb and I have a great relationship.
He's awesome.
And we've created an environment where we have a lot of fun together. It's probably criminal.
Yeah, but that's part of the culture, right? That's part of the culture of the team.
It's high pressure, high stress, but it's just a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. And we've got to create an environment where people appreciate that. I got the best job in the world. I wake up and I get to be around pro athletes. I get to lead a group of incredible staff members who I just really enjoy spending time with and navigating hard things with. And, I get to be out on a field every day doing things that I love with the people that I really appreciate. So yeah, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. I think of all the jobs I've had in my life, and I've had many. I've lived many lives.
We have some questions about those. Hopefully we can ask. Tom's loaded. He's ready to go.
It's probably the hardest job I think I've had, just from you got to be all in, and we're in the people business, right? Like in pro sports, your capital assets are human beings. So supporting them and investing in them, both the staff and the athletes, it will age you a few decades. You gotta, that's why I say you gotta be really serious about boundaries. We tend not to pay much attention to what fans and talking heads are saying. And
I had that written down. I was gonna ask you how you manage the noise, because I am not, admittedly, the noise and what we do, critiques. I'm not good at it. I'm very
he gets frozen as soon as he hears it.
Yeah. I do.
You read it.
Yeah, I read it.
I'm aware of it. I'll read it but we're such a black box from a competitive standpoint, because we don't want our competitors to know what's going on. The downside to that is fans also don't know what's going on. So, there's a lot of opinions out there, but they're coming based on very little information. So you can't really get upset too much about takes that, just aren't.
Yeah. And really sometimes they're just takes. And that's a hard thing for me to understand, because I'm not the type of person that just does things because it's just a take. I'm not a just a take guy. I wouldn't do that.
Well, Haley, I'm sure this happens in all sports, in all organizations, where the fans are like, what's this organization doing? And the organization's like, we can't tell you because that will tell our competitors.
Because they'll be telling our competitors.
Yeah. So it's funny that people,
they're always wanting injury updates, availability, technical decisions, why we rotate a roster one way or the other. And I'd love to let them know, but I really don't want our competitors to also know.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Winning matters in our industry and profession. So, that's why you can't, fan fiction is a real thing. You can't get upset about it. There are times when we'll try and plant some truth out there so folks know, because I think it's helpful. But for the most part, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's funny too, because sometimes they don't even like the truth. You went to all this trouble to put it out there, and they're not even paying attention to it.
They can't handle the truth. I see
what you did there.
Haley, not to get too sidetracked from the Pride, but I have to ask you, you were an assistant coach for the Afghanistan women's national team?
I was.
And you also helped people get out of Afghanistan in 2021. It dawned, because when I was reading your bio and you were talking about high stress jobs, I was like, man, that seems like a insanely high stress job.
Getting people out of Afghanistan is what you did to prepare yourself for the Pride, right?
As it turns out, once you spent time as a female Marine officer,
you're good.
It's all downhill from there. It's yeah, I did. I coached Afghanistan and from 2016 to 2019.
Wow.
Really the end of 2018, and then we navigated some pretty serious adversity.
Oh yeah.
When the Taliban took over, it was just sort of fortuitous that, their assistant coach was a former Marine officer and still had a lot of connections in the State Department and national security community. And um, a lot of attorneys like our staff, we were connected with some fabulous immigration attorneys and human rights attorneys. And our staff was actually very similar to what we have in Orlando at the Pride, that everybody has their skill set and checks their ego at the door and shows up with what they're good at. And
Nice.
we use those skills to complement each other and get shit done.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So, Haley, let's talk about recruiting and scouting, because I know you were a former scout, correct?
Yes.
And when you
I've always wanted to talk to somebody who scouts players and what you look for, or is it you look for so many different things?
what's the normal channels in women's soccer? We may not know.
So we have a director of scouting and analytics,
Okay.
Kat Connor. She's a former collegiate coach who she hates it when I tell people this, so I love to tell them that she was actually she was my Olympic development program coach when I was 15.
Wow.
And now I was fortunate enough to bring her in to work for us. And
Yeah, Tom likes to tell people that he was my intern. I see what you're doing. Yeah, I see what you're doing. It's an age thing.
It's a way to bully him, Haley, without
and we have a sports person here. He's going to bully another sports person. He likes to bully me because he was my intern. I see how this works.
It's called truth bullying. You're just saying the truth.
Schooling, yeah. And she's fabulous. We also have a talent identification scout. And they watch a lot of games. We've got position profiles. Seb and I, you need to have position specific profiles, like things you look for each player in every position, because we have a certain way that we want to play and those remain consistent. But we also we want versatile players, like players that can play in multiple positions. So of course we've got a whole slate of attributes, and we analyze data, and we also watch video. Like that's why it's great having Kat, because from an eye test standpoint, like she knows good footballers, and then we can use the data to either confirm or deny what we can see for ourselves.
Yeah. And a lot of times that's just something people are like through reps and I guess maybe natural talent. They have this ability to just look at players and go, I know what that is.
No. Yeah. And the league is also like a difficult league to moneyball in. You can't really moneyball athletes in the NWSL. But what I will say is our one of our biggest attributes, and probably the singular most important thing, is character and how an athlete's going to fit into the culture that we're building. It's the culture is not for everybody. It's here no one's more important than the club. And everything we do together, and we do it as a team. We make decisions together as a team, and obviously I'm accountable singularly, but it's everything is about the team. And so if you're going to come in with an ego, or you're going to come in, just wanting to be a superstar and look out for yourself, that this isn't the place for you. And we've passed on some athletes who are highly talented athletes because we just didn't feel like they were going to fit into the culture, and we're comfortable with that. The other thing too is with the way that the league is structured, so, the NWSL just got rid of the college draft. It's like the first major American league to not have a college draft, and that aligns it more with what you see in the international soccer.
Sure. Yeah. Tom and I have talked about that
everybody's a free agent.
Yeah, since we worked at Orlando City, we talked about the farm,
the draft is weird to soccer specific.
Yeah. So you have to spend as much time recruiting as you do scouting.
Right,
so
right.
You got to really have a good sort of pitch deck and an idea of what your sporting project is to bring these players in. And
so again, the culture is probably like to athletes coming here. Like you said, it's not a fit for everybody, but I would imagine most people like I'm sure the weather, playing around here, the fans, the people that show up. I mean, we get good crowds. I mean, these are all boxes that we check that I know other places don't. Yeah, Tom.
Yeah.
Haley, I've always been curious to ask a soccer scout this question because I think we're familiar with the story of in American football of a tall tight end being drafted by the NFL, but he played basketball, and they're like, oh, he's super athletic. He fits all the traits that we need. We'll teach him how to play the position. And in soccer, it seems like if you don't start at a young age, your ball handling skills just aren't there.
You don't have enough time on. It's like
so. Is there a cutoff age where like someone like they started soccer a little too late for me to feel comfortable with them as a player? Like you need to start at X age.
I think it depends on the position, right? I think there's been examples historically of goalkeepers, especially that are multi-sport athletes that have played volleyball or basketball or other sports that just have phenomenal hand-eye, foot-eye like coordination. They just get it, and they can pick things up really quickly. It's not that frequently that you see that, but even within the game itself, right? Like you look at an athlete like Hope Solo. Hope Solo was a field player until she was about 16. She didn't really convert to playing in goal until she was older. Yeah. And
that's a great little documentary if you're looking to feed your ladies soccer. Yeah, check that one out. It's good.
So I think there's examples of it, but you're right. There's a technical aspect that can't be ignored, and some athletes can pick that up really quickly. We have athletes as well in the NWSL who have incredible pace and power, but that aren't as technical. But their pace and power can compensate for it. You don't have to be very technical if you're running 34 kilometers an hour.
Right. Yeah, you're cranking down
by
the
a
pitch.
player. But then those are areas that you develop, right? So once we get athletes into our environment, like we have a really good idea of what their sort of strengths and weaknesses are in areas for development and opportunity. And so we actually have an individual development player, like coach, who specifically athletes on the technical side of things and what they need to work on to optimize their own performance. Because we really believe if you're optimizing the individual performance, you're optimizing the team. And so, yeah.
Oh, I love all of this. I love how technical this is, but I am a diagnosed anxiety person. So as you're talking about this, I'm thinking about what you have to do day to day and how many points of contacts or how many assistants or, I don't want to besmirch anybody's title, or how many people on different arms of your octopus that you have to check in with to make sure that the team's doing well. Is that something you have to do daily, or is that just...
Dude, so I have the people that report directly to me, right? I do a pretty good job of keeping the number of folks that report directly to me limited.
Yeah.
And they have quite a few people that report to them. So the head coach, reports to me. The director of scouting and analytics reports to me. The director of medical and performance reports to me. Like organizationally, our chief medical officer makes medical decisions, but from an organizational standpoint, our director of medical and performance reports to me. And then our director of team ops reports to me, and then everybody else falls under that. So, I've got touch points with those four, and I kind of have to keep it limited to those four because one, they're leading and I'm empowering them as leaders to navigate that and delegate those things. But yeah, we have pretty regular touch points. I will say, as a staff, we have a 7:30 huddle every morning that we're in just to prepare for what training will look like that day. Medical and performance are in it. The technical staff is in it. Our groundskeepers in it. Our equipment managers in it.
That's awesome.
And we go through this is what training is going to look like. If we need to make any adjustments for player loads based on treatment schedules or rehab, we can do it then. And then, once you leave that huddle, you're sort of beholden to that because that's your moment. If you need to
speak up,
air grievance, you got to do it then, because once we hit the ground, the only adjustments we're making are adjustments on the pitch during training, and that for me is all about being loyal to the head coach, right? Because now once we leave that door, he's accountable for what happens at training, and so if you've got opinions and you don't voice your opinions in that meeting, and then I find out about your opinions after the fact, you're not going to have a very good day.
Oh, I like that.
Haley, I got one more question for you before we go, and this is kind of a media question, and the fact that you hear this a lot. And
I bet she hates the media.
But I want to know how.
I hate the media, and I'm part of it.
You hear in all sports, the media, oh, this coach lost the locker room, and that gets thrown out. And I'm always curious to I wonder how much that is true, or how much is that just a cliche saying that the media wants to, throw out there, and it's like, have you witnessed that happen? How?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's instances where that happens, and it doesn't happen overnight. It happens. It's the same way you keep a locker room, right? Like those are daily decisions that you make that add up, right? It's like making deposits in a bank.
Sure.
And I don't think that you lose a locker room overnight. But everybody loves a good narrative. Like the media today, they're searching for clicks and ads, and I get it. Like everybody's trying to drive a good narrative. I would say I actually have a pretty good relationship with most of our media outlets. I've been in the game a long time. I know a lot of the men and women and binary folks who've been covering our game for a long time, and they'll reach out to me and ask me for information on background, and if we think it's necessary, we'll navigate it. But everybody loves a good narrative and a good story. And like I said, like so much of what we do is a black box. And especially at my position, like a lot of the work that I do is just not privy. The media is not privy to it, and there are competitive good reasons for that.
Yeah. And we like that too. I mean, obviously as fans and wanting our team in Orlando to win, I'm glad that you are.
Hold on, I want to know everything.
I like your he's got a gambling addiction. Don't talk to him.
There's that as well.
Yeah, it's that guy. He's looking for the edge, and I just want my team to win. That's the difference in you and me.
I want to make wild speculations like I know better on the internet. Like I love it when you're like, well, I know better than the coaches and players that have been doing this their whole life. I've never even played.
I do laugh at that. Like I'll see people posting things, and I'm like, are you like hiding in the bushes at training, and I just don't see you? Where are you coming up with this information?
Haley, they don't even know the rules.
These are people that don't fully understand soccer.
It is always a good laugh when I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I've not heard that.
I like it when they get it so absolutely wrong, but they will die on the hill. But hey, thank you so much for the time today.
Listen, I appreciate their support. I appreciate y'all's support.
Oh, well, thanks. I mean, it's easy to support an awesome team. You guys are so good. Like, it goes both ways, right? Yeah. It's like when the team wins, it's amazing how many people will show up. When you're on the slide, I still want all of our Pride fans to go out there and do what we do, because we support City. Anything City, anything purple. We love you guys. And thanks for the time today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, sorry. She's still getting used to this clicking things.
She's
kicked my ass.
A badass.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I like her a lot.
Yeah, former military,
badass sports person.
Yeah. Former player. Anyway,
coached in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That's where they send coaches to die.
I mean, she is tough. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with more of Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Joe is here from Fairville, Mexico. How you doing, Joe?
All right, peeps.
It's very good to see you. Did you get new glasses?
Me too. I didn't, but you've never seen me without cans on. I think it's a hair situation.
Okay, looks good. I like. You know what? From now on, when ladies come in, if they have their hair in a way that, because, my wife will come in, sometimes it's up and it doesn't really matter. I get it. Not to say that she's not beautiful. God, you got to preface so much these days. But I feel like women, no cans anymore. We don't run headphones on the ladies. Is that sexist? Am I allowed to say that?
Should we get some new school podcasting earbuds?
I
hate those. I really hate
that's gross.
It's a thing.
I hate the buds.
I'm feeling like I'm going to invest in some travel buds, because I spend a lot of time in front of mics with fellas just like yourself. Yeah. And the cans are kind of
You were great on Zwane's show.
Thanks for that.
Or is it? I don't know whose show it is.
Yeah, Sanford Sit Down. We're doing it again in a week.
You did a great job. You did a very good job.
Thanks.
And I like that guy. We've known Zwane, our DJ Zwane, for I don't know. I feel like I've always known him in Orlando, and he did a very nice. That's a good little show.
I'm so proud of him. So,
very cool.
Joe, thanks for coming out and sponsoring our BDM Appreciation event.
It was a great time. Of a party too, though.
You brought party favors. You brought friends of the show, people.
Weenie ring toss.
Penis toss.
Yeah. You can say penis toss. That's fine.
I was like,
who won that? Who did I win?
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone.
So
won.
it's a play until you win. It's like the duck crane we
it's a
talked about
tiered
yesterday.
situation. It was one. What do you call them things? Rings.
Rings.
One ring got one thing. 2 rings got another thing. 3 rings got the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw some pictures of some gentlemen playing it, and the first thing I thought is, I'm going to email this to your kids. Look what your dad did this with you.
What was great was the girls that were coming over and like recording their videos with it.
Yeah.
Like, there was a whole.
Yeah.
You know the girls that were on stage.
There were some non-media
that thing
girls there.
famous.
Oh, yeah, the girls in the pool were insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girls in the pool did not care. I would like to put in a ticket now for next year, possibly,
Yes.
when we do this again, I would like to have a vagina basketball. Yeah, I want vagina basketball.
A vulva ball.
Yeah, vulva ball. Yeah.
It's a thing. We could do
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I want. I'm gonna call it boom shakalaka. And we'll just have. I feel like we could get one. You know those inflatable chairs that.
Oh, no,
where-
I'm into
You know
this.
those chairs you take and you grab the wind with them and then you Velcro them up and then you
Yes.
sit them and they look like a vagina.
Yeah,
It's one of
yeah.
those, and we're just shooting basketballs.
Okay,
out.
Yeah.
but you'd have to dunk it, right? Because
You can do it any way you want it, baby.
Or we
the
could
gravity.
slime it, or we could.
Don't slime it, Joe. You know what? I'm this close to asking you to leave. Slime it? You said slime it, Joe? Now, first of all, when anyone comes in here, and
Nickelodeon.
if anyone comes in here and says slime it, I want to hug them. I go, you fit in with our show. But you're not supposed to say that, Joe. You're not supposed to say slime it. That's for us to say.
I say things.
The
I
whole
can say things.
So-
I don't sit still.
Slime
I don't do
it.
what I'm told.
It's Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Speaking of sliming it.
Yeah, you know what I like to do on Mother's Day?
And we're here for you. We're here to help you.
So if you're like me, you're in a last-minute rush to figure out something that's for you to buy, then therefore you can give. Well, this is.
Is that why you were a little off kilter when Joe got here? Because I saw you on your phone.
Okay.
You asked me a question. Then you immediately started going into like gift mode when we had like 2 minutes before Joe to get here, and you're standing there staring at your phone, like were you trying to Photoshop a photo on your phone?
I don't understand.
It's the benefit of technology.
Yeah,
I thought your
this guy's
phone
already
can
had 9
Photoshop.
freakouts today.
It's become.
Woosah.
You buy something for your wife for Mother's Day.
I don't have
so now
anything
the
yet.
husband has to buy.
I have nothing yet. Today is the day. Me and Maisie, we're going out.
And it kind of ties into MILFs.
Kinda.
So let's talk MILFs. for a
Yeah.
second.
3 things inspired this conversation, actually. First one was your party.
Yes.
There was a whole lot of Milk Patrol
Yeah.
going on that night.
Lot of
Yes.
milfs.
I was so excited about it. It was fun to recognize, to watch, to see it in action, right? Number 2, my truck is in the shop, and I am driving a minivan.
Yeah, that makes you mad.
Which I'm allergic to,
Yeah.
but it's giving me this whole new perspective. I'm
Okay.
having to look at the world from a new view,
Yeah.
as if I had 4 kids in the back, and I'm trying to be sexy heading to Walmart.
It's all
and
how
I
you reframe
it's
it,
a
right?
Whole, right?
It's a minivan to
So
some.
I'm
It's a
like-
bang bus to others.
There's a
You know
whole.
what I mean? It's all in how you look at it. Are you Dirty
It's a
Sanchez or are you
perspective.
Joe from Fairvilla? Who are you?
Well, and now, I mean, with the dog seat in the truck,
Yeah.
or in the minivan.
I have a
it's
dog
cute.
seat in my car too.
So, yeah.
You know what? She's a real Florida person. Because we have dog chairs in our
It's
cars for our
real.
best
Yeah,
friends.
thank goodness,
Yeah,
too.
shout out Dansby Dennis.
The bang bus started with no back seat,
Yeah.
and then it seemed like they got pulled over and had to add a back seat.
Well, it went from a bang bus to a van. That's what happened.
Whoa,
And then we had to-
whoa,
no,
whoa,
don't
my
you-
God.
no, no,
Hold
no.
on a second. What is TJ
No.
Miller here? What's
Oh,
going
come
on?
SVU, we're going into a TV show. SVU, the white van with nothing in the back, was cool in the 70s show. Remember,
Oh,
he
yeah,
had
yeah.
one,
Yeah.
and it was all soft and pillowed and cool
Then it
and
went Rank
shaggy.
Van, and
then
then
it got weird. Yeah.
Then it came back
Then
out
it
of-
came back around as a bang. Yeah.
And it became Bang Bus.
There we go.
I'm going to tell you when I turned on Bang Bus. When when they lost me is when all of the porn actresses, the adult actresses,
Yeah.
signed the headliner. You lost me. It started looking gross. It started looking gross. The whole interior of the van started losing I was okay with it when it was just a clean rented white van, and I even liked it when they drop you off and throw the money out the window, drive away and you're naked. I even supported that. And some
Well,
would
they
say I'm a
stopped that,
monster.
but it lost its luster.
Some would say I'm a monster for supporting that. And Tom and I, we would. Those are the best ones.
And I'm weird for saying
Yeah,
white van.
those are the best ones. when they would push her out, and we knew it was fake.
Yeah, it's a theatrical performance.
It is a theatrical performance, no different than the performances that some people do online that are performative. You better than?
No, we discount them in our
I think
store.
they got a hate mail, and they stopped doing the we can't leave the girl out and throw the money out the window anymore.
Like all girls gone wild situation.
Yeah, they only drove for like 3 seconds, then they stop the car, she runs back over, they're like, here, put your pants on.
It's a performance. She's a young actress.
It is a performance.
Anyway, sorry, Joe. Back to MILFs.
The
So
minivan.
I feel
And
like
then Mother's Day was the third inspiration.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
Right,
sorry.
that was the third
Cut you off.
inspiration because we bring products in here a lot. We show you a lot of the fun stuff we have in the store, but do we really talk about what it means to be a MILF? And remember, a lot of what we do is education, so it's not just being one, but how do we approach one? What is that? What does that culture really look like? So I spent some time actually pulling stats and statistics. And do you know that most people think that the term came from a movie? Do y'all know what movie it was?
no, from American Pie, from
Right?
Stifler.
Except no. Apparently, it was termed in Berkeley years before that as a classified ad. Like when they put the ads in the paper.
Yeah. Oh, really?
MILF became a thing, and that's where American Pie picked it up.
Huh?
So
who
it was
knew?
actually
But American-
a thing, and then American Pie kind of took it.
Popularized
This
it.
isn't like an old concept, and we're going to amplify
but
this a little
Stifler's
bit.
mom clearly fit the bill, so there we were.
Yeah.
Who
Jennifer,
knew?
Is that Jennifer Coolidge?
Yes.
Yeah.
The chick that's doing the
Is that who
what
did that?
commercials right now?
Yeah,
crazy hair.
yeah.
That lady
She was in
doesn't
White
age.
Lotus.
Right, yeah, she doesn't
Wow.
age.
Yeah.
Way to bring that up.
Yeah, I prefer a Black Lotus, but that's just what I'm into right
I'm
now.
thinking Legally Blonde, but he
Yeah,
goes White
I'm just
Lotus.
into that right now. That's what I'm into. I go through phases. Sometimes I love Latina Lotus.
Boy, all right. So how would you guys define a MILF? Like, what would
Well,
MILF mean to you?
I've been thinking about this, Joe, since I knew you were going to come in and talk about MILFs. And by the way,
Yeah, all morning he's been on porno.
morning.
All morning.
Which it is the number 2 search term on Pornhub, by the way.
Yeah.
MILF.
Well,
Wow, number 1, Jared from Subway.
well, just
Weird.
by definition, everyone's a MILF to someone. Think about that. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not a MILF.
Well, no. I mean, as far as
Oh,
like,
you can't say everyone.
Well, no, every pregnant lady. I guess you can't be, or every lady who has had a
They
kid.
might
So
lose it.
therein-
They might lose it. It's got to
therein
be out.
But therein defines it.
Baby's gotta be
is
out.
a MILF specifically someone who has children.
Well, it's the first word is mother.
Okay, you know what?
It's not mature.
To answer your question intellectually, like I think you want me to, no.
Right?
In the adult video space.
Oh yeah. There's a
They
lot
do
of
not.
non-moms.
It has nothing to do with children because,
Right.
again, that would be gross and weird because children
Right.
have nothing to do with adult videos.
Literally.
It has everything to do with a woman who looks older but is still very attractive, maybe curvier, maybe bigger hips, maybe more nurturing.
Looks childbearing.
Or I always
Yeah.
look at like a more regular
Mature.
looking non-porn star.
Girl next door.
Yeah, was that like just
Non-porn star, like when we're doing the amateur stuff, like those are MILFs. That's where MILFs come from.
okay.
I don't see a lot of. The only
You're right.
amateur MILFs I know would be Bareback Productions, and that's in Titusville up the road. I'm serious. I'm trying to answer this like a legit. You want a professional in here
I
or
like
not?
it.
What do you want, Joe?
Okay.
Give me your
You
best.
come in here, you talk about sliming it up, and you don't want me to be professional now? But
Somebody's got to play
age-
straight guy.
Okay, MILF.
You can
Joe,
age out.
I looked at Joe and I called you MILF.
He yelled it. He's like, MILF.
You know how you say it.
What if you put your hands out like Frankenstein and you said MILF and she couldn't be stopped? I'm like trying to pull you back. You pushed Joe out the window.
I don't know why I did that. I got
my
embarrassed.
God.
Yeah, I got embarrassed.
MILF.
I get that. That's why I travel with security.
It's like a fat baby yelling MILF.
So, what would you consider the age range?
That's where I was
of a
gonna
MILF?
go.
You can
right?
age out.
It
You can
goes
age out
into
of it.
GILF.
Well,
I don't like
gilf.
gilfs. I don't
so
like gilfs.
hold on, we got you. There's a bridge there, right?
Yeah, let's
So
burn it
when
down. I don't like gilfs.
Yeah, so gilf could be a thing, but it's a thing, right? When we think about it, when it's looked at like online, it's drawing a different age range. So many people, the greatest of MILFs, graduate into cougardom. And cougardom allows you to be in a little bit of an older age bracket. You're still taking care of yourself. You're still hot. You're still chasing the tail.
Christy Canyon's
or
a
doing
cougar.
the things. Cougars
Because
are...
she's out of MILF. Like, she's one of my favorites. She's
Yeah.
made me a man, Christy
Ooh,
Canyon. I mean, she's
thank
got to
you,
be in her
Christy.
60s.
I feel like
but
MILF
she is
is
still very hot.
MILF is pre-50s.
Yeah.
And so does that is a general opinion. That is a general
but
opinion.
What about 55? I think
so-
past 55, you're out of MILF.
Or having the kids
Yeah.
out of the house. That also can kind of take you from MILF into cougardom like prematurely.
Yeah, you know what they say? Empty nest. That's the best.
But I've seen them try to pawn off a 27-year-old as a MILF, and I'm like, no, what are you talking about?
That's Walmart hillbillies. They will take a younger.
That's a road hard.
Road hard. I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad you
yeah.
did. They'll take a younger road hard, a Walmarty.
Yeah.
And then they'll try to frame it like, no, you've got so many miles on you. You're a MILF. That's what I was kind of saying earlier in a nicer way.
I think,
So in general buckets, and I'm not a huge fan of buckets, but
General
in this,
Buckets
in
was
general
my
buckets,
general in the military. And he was weird.
In general buckets, MILF would be your 30 to 40, has children, right? And cougar would be your 50 to. I don't feel like I'll be a GILF. I don't really want to land in that area. Like I'd like to just work cougarness
Are we
until
allowed
we're
to?
like
Are
in
we
our
allowed
80s.
to profile you? Can I profile you?
Oh,
You're
I'm
a
not
MILF.
scared.
You're a MILF.
Thanks so much.
You're not a
Yeah.
GILF. You don't. Your hair's not gray enough.
If it was though, would that automatically? Because my best friend has a silver mane that is gorgeous,
Yeah.
and but there's no gilfing. There's cougarness all the places.
You know, the GILF. I kind of feel like I don't feel like there's a lot of GILFs out there.
Does it feel negative? How's
It
that
does feel negative.
right? It doesn't have this like MILF is hot, but GILF is like, huh?
yeah,
GILF is
it
weird.
always is that because
Now
the
maybe we haven't
grandma.
normalized it, right? Maybe that's on me. You know, right? A lot of new
we
terms
do
scare
a lot
people.
of aging education. Maybe that's something to look at. Maybe perhaps there is a GILF bias.
Right,
that we
but
should
new
uncover.
terms for people are very scary. You know,
Yeah.
like we need to normalize GILF. Let's have a GILF competition. Find the hottest GILF.
So
Ooh,
Right?
I might be into it.
I also feel like MILFs also represent a more regular, everyday person, as opposed to like there's this porn actress, and I'm sorry, Joe. It's the
Why are you sorry?
Oh, why are you apologizing to me?
Yeah,
we
see,
probably have her movie.
This is on brand, man. This is on brand. You're nailing it.
I really appreciate the respect, but
Well, because I mean, I feel like this.
Who are you talking about?
It's a blonde lady, and she's been in a lot of MILF videos.
Lisa Ann.
It may be Lisa Ann.
No, Lisa Ann's a brunette.
But
I know who you're talking about.
she's almost too
polished.
yes, too polished and too like she's
Too Hollywood. Too porn.
extremely
Too
into
porn.
working.
Like
working
she doesn't
out.
take care of
Yeah,
herself.
she's
She's got
the
a glam squad.
Are you talking about
and
the-
she's a
Are you talking about Corey Chase?
Corey Chase? Corey Chase.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're a pervert.
I knew
Yeah,
Daniel
you know
was
what?
a pervert.
I'm
or
almost,
a frequent shopper. Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you something. I am almost stand-up comedian level pervert. Stand-up comedians are so perverted,
It
and they
doesn't
know
take
all
much.
the porn stars.
Do you
Like,
know, I
like
was engaged to one.
stand-up comedians. They know
literally,
all the
yeah.
porn stars. Me, I'm right under them. Right under them. I have to work at it.
But she almost.
I don't feel like you're right there though. You're level.
I do research for you, man.
She's like not normal enough looking.
She's
I don't
too
know.
muscly for me.
She's great looking, obviously.
Oh,
but
She
she's
doesn't
beautiful.
look like she takes care of kids all day.
She's beautiful,
yeah.
but
Or just,
she's
or
working out
more
a lot.
average.
She's too muscly to be a MILF to me because MILFs are doing like a lot of momming, and that's not sit-ups.
What I'm saying, what I'm watching your face about, it's so sweet because you're like, average isn't right. It's not average.
yeah.
But what I like the idea between like polished and living in a natural zone.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Because
Well,
I feel
he's
like that's
also-
what that MILF situation is. Like there's a hotness to a woman who has soft lines.
Yeah,
Sure,
no, 100%.
sure. There's
Yeah.
also to me, like it can go the other direction where you can have a woman that's got some masculine features that are very chiseled,
Ooh.
and they work.
Oh,
You know what
and
I mean?
that's
Like,
milfy.
Yeah, it is.
So look, we've just uncovered again the buckets don't work. You
No,
know?
yeah,
a MILF is a chick with chicks that, or a chick with kids that you find attractive.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah,
I feel like I
now,
agree with you.
even
Corey
if they don't
Chase-
have kids, though, we agree that also falls in the MILF bucket.
Corey Chase breaks the illusion. That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
She just
'Cause
happens
you're
to be
in it.
older.
I don't think Joe knows this, but I think secretly, and we could go back a little bit, and you were explaining it. This guy's in it for the fantasy. And when you look at her, like, she's very beautiful, but
Yeah.
you don't go, oh, you're a
It's
mom.
not feeding the MILF thing.
You know who's a
it's
great
not.
MILF? Jocelyn Jane.
This guy's crushing it. I've never been
I was
prouder.
going to say, do you want to read the statistics? Because I feel like you're part of them.
I've never been prouder. That was well done. He's right. Because she's got a more natural, less workout body.
I saw it exactly, actually.
Yeah.
The ass moves when she walks.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's got to move. I love the move.
Little jiggle in the wiggle.
Yeah, Maisie calls that on Andrea. She calls it a flutter. I was like, oh, I like that. Let it flutter,
yeah,
baby.
that's fun.
Yeah.
And then she slaps my ass. And
So
says,
do we want to know like how
ass.
like MILF is a thing? Like it's a serious. It's not only number 2 searched on Pornhub. It's the number 2 term searched by men. Period, and the number 3 for women.
The irony of period.
Well,
Menopause.
well, okay. Let's think about this for a
Okay.
second, because I thought about like why people do like MILFs so much, and it's like I tend to gravitate toward that because it's what your reality is around you, right?
How about it's accessible? It feels accessible.
Yes, and so like
It's not Golden Tower sex.
I thought you were going to take mine. When you said accessible, I was thinking you were going to say success. That I'm attracted to women that have foundation, meaning they got a job and they can do some stuff and they got some kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They have something to offer.
Well, they're also
That's sexy.
they're older.
Has my
They're
stuff, can do my own thing.
They're more mature.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also most men our age, obviously, I would say the 35 to 50,
Sure.
that's the only women we're surrounded by. Think about it. Like I'm at Typhoon Lagoon with for my son's birthday party. All my friends'
We're not
wives
porn
are
stars?
there.
They were porn stars.
And they're all
Surrounded by
MILFs.
MILFs. Oh, my God.
Although, hold
And
on,
I'm
your pool
fantasizing
party.
about
Okay,
it. Yeah.
your pool party
Is that
though.
too far?
I know the women that are there. They've been in our store. The side chicks were repping.
Oh, you're talking the BDM
And
pool party.
They were so like the MILFs of MILFs. It was literally
That's-
what
yeah.
made me go, we need to talk about this because localized, we are living amongst them.
Yeah, no,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
yeah.
The women that are
100%.
wives that have mothers that drive the minivan, and I saw them in bathing suits, and I was like, ah.
Oh, yeah.
You know
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Sure.
So the MILF thing, like you said, that's what but it was exciting to me, and that's why I was like, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Props to Tracy. Hello. She's
Tracy's
so
a MILF.
good.
We'll give her a shout out. We can say
all
that,
the
right?
things. We're
I
having
don't know if we can say that. I
So
shouldn't
we're
have
gonna
said
go.
that.
We're gonna,
I'm gonna cut that
I
out.
said it.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna
owning
cut that
that.
out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can say you
Yeah.
seconded me.
Tracy
'cause
has boobs out at our
Go-
party, too, and I almost told her to
Okay.
go put a safety
But
pin
they
on that.
did
What are you
take it
doing?
further.
if you call your friends' wives MILFs, is that appropriate?
To both it is only if you know them. Okay, to both of our wives, because maybe they're weird.
Who are also both MILFs,
They
in
are,
my opinion.
but that would be a compliment to both of them, especially
Yes.
Crystal Van. Crystal Van would get a smile from ear to
Yeah,
ear.
yeah. But
And Andrea would like it too, not as much as Crystal, but Andrea would still like it. Maybe they're old souls. I don't know what it is, but I know they like it
I think
because
we also just get to a place where we stop. Like it's not like she has to put her opinion in the mix in order to honor yours. It's factual that
Okay.
these are hot women running amongst us, and we in our maturity don't take it so personally. I can be a MILF, and so can she, and so can she.
yeah,
But-
some people they'll get like, well, you're
Bless their heart.
sexualizing me, and there's no consent here.
Oh, bless your
Shut it
heart.
down. You know,
because
Right.
in the term, you're insinuating
Yeah.
what I want to do to you.
which ramps it up. It ramps it up.
That's the F word.
Yeah. It does.
And therein lies the difference.
Yeah, that is what amps it up. Yeah,
You're saying
it's like I want to bend
Which
you over.
actually brings us to the next, which is
But you can't say that.
Wait, is that better? Maybe we should
Well,
change it to "Moms, I'd
you-
like to bend over."
Like, you
What is
can't-
that
Well,
acronym?
okay,
can't
but
call
you
your
did just bring up a statistic with this whole conversation, which is second to the term MILF is MILF and another word for booty stuff.
Oh,
So they're
wow.
being looked at in conjunction with one another.
Oh.
Hence proving
See, I
your
never
point.
Google those together. I go younger with that other thing you're talking
Oh,
about. When it's an
interesting.
older woman, I do not connect anything around it because more mileage means the road's going to need to build back better and it's got some potholes.
Hold on.
which
That's
is-
just my opinion.
We can help with those things. Come see.
Yeah, filth.
Wow.
Filth. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so the demographic is exactly what you said. So tips for picking up a MILF, right? Here to help your audience. A couple things you can do
Puppies.
if that's a
You go to Lake
that's an
Mary
area
with
you
my
wanna
dog.
lead into?
If I went to Lake Mary right now with my dog Dansby, in a matter of seconds, I would be getting full self-driving BJ.
I mean, there is.
I'm
a
just
little
saying.
truth to that.
I said what I said.
Puppies, yeah.
I said what I said.
The whole giving away the baby thing don't work.
You give a little bit of humor. You have a West Highland Terrier, and one of these old ladies, you get her laughing. A couple of mint juleps. Next thing you know, Kentucky Derby.
Juleps. So I'm going to say we're in a season and a mood because it says that the very first tip is not to call her a MILF. Like, don't bring up the MILF thing. She'll notice the age difference, and when you point it out, it becomes a turnoff.
Oh, I wasn't going to bring it up. I was
No,
going
I'm
to show her
telling you,
my
these are
dog
just-
and buy
just-
her
no.
tons of drinks.
Okay.
Tips for dating a MILF, right? So tip number 1, don't call her MILF. And buying her a mint julep, I feel like, is like
It was
maybe.
a Kentucky Derby fantasy, Joe. Good God. This is a hard room today.
Hold on, Joe. I'm gonna have to disagree with this a little bit.
Oh, no.
Just because.
Stand on your business, Tom. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, just because, like, hey, we all live in reality, you know? Like, you understand what year it is, what year you were born.
Okay, the chat room's clowning me now. They're like, hey, MILF, you want a mint julep with me and my dog? Okay, you mother...
Like,
I hate you guys.
Like, your kid has
I love you,
pubes.
thank
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say, how dare you call me a MILF? Like, what?
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't be the level of response.
Yeah, it's like,
You would just
how
slink
old
it in.
you
Like
are.
if we were role playing and I was talking to a woman that I knew was a MILF, right?
Yeah.
And we were
You're not a
talking.
teen.
What
are you?
They would normally say something, and I'm I'm a good flirter. You know, I'm very flirty. Got it from my dad. My
See
dad
that.
is a king.
It's the Riz.
And he had it more than me. It watered down. I got a little bit, but like I would be talking to her at the bar, and she'd say something like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink? I buy you a mint julep with my dog Kentucky Derby." I'm riding this thing down to the grave. I'm like, "I buy you a drink at Kentucky Derby party," and she's like, "Oh, you don't need to do that, young man." Like, let's say she said that, and I'd be like, "Whoa, young man, you're my age. Hey, I'm off to the races."
Oh, that's it.
Subtlety.
So that's what I was going to say, because being called a MILF by someone within your peer-ish group is not a turnoff.
Or you say
But-
something like, young, please don't call me that. I do not. I'm this age and I like mature people, and that's why I came here, to hopefully hang out with some mature people. Boom, I'm already off to the races. I already got a whole thing
So
I'm
this
doing
rule
here.
does not apply to you, clearly. But Tom, it might.
You know what it is?
There's a lot of rules.
It's because of American Pie and the fantasy of the young man getting with the older woman. So
well,
then,
that would be all the
then-
way back to, like, what was that movie with Dustin Hoffman?
So you're
It's a very, very famous movie about The Graduate. Was that what it was?
Yes.
Wasn't that about an older
Like
woman
the
and a very young
70s,
man?
So you're I could
Mrs.
see
Jones.
I could see how someone would take it like you're insinuating this fantasy that you're young and I'm older than you. See what I'm saying? Like that's why it's insulting. But if you could have a MILF fantasy from a person your own age because they're in the category of MILF because that's their
But I don't
age
want
range.
that. I want older.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
the top tips
so-
about the tips from an older woman are like, don't bring games, don't bring drama, don't pretend like you know more. Like bringing the fantasy is gonna like remove it for her. Do you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
But if you step in like the repairman or like you can fix my pipes or like my liquids are flowing or whatever weird things that they do, right?
Yeah.
The service guy thing, then you're in like Flynn.
The repairman always stays under the sink.
Yeah,
It's
for
always
too
over- Yeah, he never takes his head out of the sink.
Yeah.
And
it's
then-
a better life in there. Don't take your head out. It's terrible out here.
You're like, oh, but you thought this was your wife? Like, you know the difference.
Yeah.
You know it's someone else.
If I peeked, like if I'm laying there and I peeked and I notice it's not my wife, I'm staying there. Just telling you.
Yeah. But you're getting a more comfortable. You're where the roaches and the goddamn borax.
Oh, where did this all go?
Well, I'm just saying, he never gets out of there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't be
sorry,
that
Joe.
guy.
Okay, we'll leave on this. We'll leave on something whimsy. Something whimsical. Hottest TV mom.
Ooh.
You got one?
Because
Mine
of my
was-
age, I'm going Suzanne Summers
Oh.
from Step by Step.
That's a good one. I was going to say Roseanne when she came back, MAGA. MAGA Roseanne when she came back. Hold on, I'll play for real. I'll play for real. Hold on. Hottest TV mom, honestly, would have been around the same time. And this is gonna, well, no, not around the same time. This might surprise you. The blonde woman I find extremely attractive from Modern Family. The main matriarch.
yeah. Okay.
She's kind of got
She's
muscly
like a Corey
arms.
Chase.
Yeah.
She's like
those
a Corey
mostly-
Chase.
Yeah, so that's where I was going was like the
She's
Terminator
very
chick,
hot.
Linda, what's her name?
Linda
with the
Blair.
arm, or who had the kid and
Beautiful.
the
Beautiful.
Right? Okay. So there we go. So when you're looking for something for your favorite MILF this Mother's Day,
There you go.
be sure to stop by any one of our locations. We love being with you guys. And cheers to all the MILFs in the room.
You guys are the best. Lingerie, pajamas, whimsical, fun. I'm using whimsical too much. Fun gifts for
Novelties.
parties, novelties.
Yeah, smut books.
Yeah, roast and toast mugs.
Yeah, bath and body care.
Cards that are better than any drugstore. You need some spicier cards.
So good.
Lingerie.
Yeah,
Yes,
there are so many
shoes.
new festivals popping up lately and apparently y'all are going to have to add more cowboy hats and boots because
All
there's
the
like
things.
25 more country fests out there now.
They're
And-
coming. Our Sanford store is plugged with them right now.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're looking for them, come to Sanford for sure.
Yeah, get those costumes now, guys. You don't want to be waiting to the to the last minute before you get your festival wear.
Or your summertime wear. We've got all the bathing suits too. So,
Yep, there you
guys,
go.
we appreciate you. Thank
No
you.
problem.
We love you, Joe.
All the information at fairvilla.com, and we'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love it if you join us. Just search for @TomandDanLive. That is the name that gets you to our page, which we have Swervy Jones cartoons on there. By the way, he's doing broadcasts on Twitch. Go support our buddy Swervy. He's been doing these little broadcasts on Twitch, and he's been talking with like AI cartoons, and they're great. Super funny stuff. And follow us on YouTube, and you can find all of our interviews on there. Everything is curated at Tom and Dan Live on YouTube.
This weekend, the Orlando Science Center is doing Mess Fest, which is basically they're showing you how chemical combinations can create things like a foam explosion or slime or
Elephant toothpaste.
Yeah, elephant toothpaste and
Yeah.
stuff. And basically, it's a good way to show your kids or anybody interested in chemistry how ordinary household chemicals can make really cool things happen, and they do it on a grandiose scale.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, they show you how to do it right. Like when I was a kid, I just go into the garage and get a bucket, and when my parents went to Down the Hatch, which is a seafood restaurant, and I would just dump every chemical into the bucket to see if I could start a fire. Right? You just dump every chemical
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
bucket,
Ammonia
and you're
together.
like, this
Oh, I'm
gas.
dying.
You're like,
Mustard gas.
This gas is making me feel awesome.
We did put bleach and ammonia underneath a substantial toilet door, and the Grizz was in there,
Let's smoke him out. You smoke him out of there.
and he was coughing.
That'll kill you.
He was in there doing a
And
taking
we're all
a deuce.
laughing about this.
And
Yeah,
we
that's the goofus. Do the gallop.
Yeah.
And go to the science center to learn how to do this.
Me and the wizard put bleach and ammonia in a white bucket, and then we had our shirts over our noses. We're like, "Ah!" And then the Grizz
Not
is
in a well-ventilated area for sure.
No, the Grizz is in there taking a deuce, and then we were sloshing it under the door.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't know, and we just heard him coughing. He was like, we laughed. And we laughed.
All right, shall
That
we
is
do it?
not endorsed by the
Yeah,
Orlando
no.
Science Center. Don't do that.
No.
That is a toxic chemical that can
Yes.
kill you.
Don't do that.
That's the only one I
man.
do know you shouldn't mix.
I think I'd still be in prison. Right? What if he died? That's it.
That's right. That's right up
Manslaughter,
there.
right?
With,
Good
that's right up
behavior.
there with throwing acid on a lady's face in France. That's
No,
crazy.
hold on.
That's how you kill. That's how crazy people
No,
kill their friends.
But we didn't know that it was lethal.
No, that's what crazy people do.
We just knew it smelled
No,
crazy.
that is right up there with throwing acid on a woman's face. That is terrible.
That's before the internet. There's no way to know. Anyway,
We had to get it through. I had to go to my satanic friend Marvin, right? And I'd be like, hey, I want to smoke my friend out while he's taking a deuce. Where's the anarchist cookbook? And Marvin would be like, well, then you have to say you really believe I believe in Satan. And I'd be like, I don't believe that. He's like, well, say it. I'll give you the. I'm like, okay, I believe you believe in Satan. Let me borrow the cookbooks. I take the cookbook home, hide it from my parents, write down the recipe to smoke out Grizz when he's taking a deuce. All right, would you like to do the thing? Here we go.
Nerds. Nerds. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
it's Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
I'm melancholy.
Yeah, and the infinite fatness. Smashing Pumpkins joke.
Very good joke.
Melancholy and the infinite fatness. Boom.
How was MyCon this year?
Good. It was fantastic. I had a really good time there.
Big success.
Yeah. Tons of people doing the Mario Kart tournament and the Smash Brothers tournament.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you want to start with first? Some nerd, some jock.
You know, let's do the jock stuff first.
Okay.
You saw Justin Tucker got cut. this
I
week.
did,
All
yeah.
under
Justin Tugger.
football-related issues.
But they had in something else coming out.
yeah, 17 allegations.
Well, it was the Deshaun Watson
It was a ton-
massage.
Yeah, all the
type of deal.
memes of the Browns wanting him now.
Now, he was missing a lot of kicks last year.
Yes, he was.
And I heard someone say, like, you are not that good and have allegations, you're out of there.
Yeah.
This is a meritocracy, and there's another kicker, even though you used to be the best kicker in the league, and last year didn't go well, and you're out.
But they'll roll a
mixed with
kicker
this.
for a while, right? Like
If you're good,
let me
they'll
ask
keep
you guys a question.
no matter what.
Like, and it's got to be just money, right? Like,
To
why
an
would they
extent.
roll? Okay, Desmond Ritter. We'll roll Desmond Ritter all year.
Yeah.
But then a kicker who misses, like Young Hoku.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why not pull an average kicker so you don't miss a lot of your kick? Because he was playing injured, remember?
Yeah.
Why not just get another scrub to come in and just hit the extra point so you don't miss those?
Because that takes a roster spot.
Yeah.
You don't want two place kickers on the roster. That's why.
But wouldn't those points have helped us on the bottom line of winning games?
It would, but they're looking at just the chances of your kicker getting hurt as compared to another O lineman.
Yeah.
You're like, you want to
Who
keep
you know
Another
who's more
linebacker or
valuable.
Yeah.
quarterback.
Sure, that makes sense.
Because I've seen it where there's been kickers hurt during the game, and the coach is like, we'll just go for two. And it seemed like that helped them win more.
Yeah.
Like just going for two the entire time, like, like
The chat
get these
room,
kickers out of here.
We
They don't
have
need
some
'em.
Falcon fans in there. Ghost of Manute Bull says, to me, he says, we signed a British man named Lenny.
Lenny from Mice and Men.
as Koo's competition. And Lenny, apparently, the rumor is that if the Young Hoku misses one time this year, he's done.
He's done.
He's done. Because we got Lenny, bitch.
Yeah. So it goes to show you that you start to slip at all, and then he probably would have. There's a chance he would have been replaced anyway, just from his performance last year, because they don't give kickers a long leash.
No.
Because
That was kind of my
they
question. Is that I feel
look at
now?
it, yeah.
Is that a relatively new thing because of roster spots?
No.
Or is that
It's consistency. Usually with kickers, they always want a consistent kicker. If you miss every once in a while,
let me
they're going to let
rephrase
it go.
my question.
But like,
as a dumb old man and as the oldest here, it seems to me that kickers used to last longer. That's phrased better.
yeah, like Tyler Bass.
Janikowski. Like I'm talking about big name kicker. Like that guy's been the kicker for the
For forever,
Colts
yeah.
for 18 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what happened?
They used to hold them a lot longer.
they seemed more consistent.
I think
because they would be doing three jobs sometimes. They would be doing the kickoffs, field goals, and punting. So they'd have one roster
you're
spot.
right.
You're using all three.
You're right.
So you'd keep that person even if he was a little shaky on
Well, he
field
upped
goals
his
every once in a
value
while.
to go back to what Tom's talking about.
And you're holding one roster spot instead of three.
And what happened? And we'll get off kickers. But what happened to that one guy? Was he on? He's like a blonde dude, and he was like an untrained kicker, and he came into the NFL last year.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah.
And he was the guy they're like, oh, yeah, he does 60s all day. Like, he just does a 60, a 60, 60, 60. And that guy sucked, right?
No, he played pretty well, and his story behind him. I know, like Jerry Jones and the Cowboys love a good hype story.
Yeah.
And the
I like
publicity,
Jerry
you know?
Jones now.
So
I'm in my liking hateable people phase.
but I also believe that the like YouTube and how easy it is to show your skills made a difference as well too.
Yeah.
Because before you'd have to get a kicker. I know you send videos, but like you have to get a kicker to go try out or come to your facility. And now like you'll have a kicker do all these trick kicks and like just show you him hitting clutch kicks all the time, and then they just have endless ways the special teams coach can just watch tons of this stuff, and then it's like, well, this guy's just as good as the guy we have, like they're easily replaceable, and they're so.
Not entirely, because think about it, you got the pressure of some guy coming at you every single time. And like those videos, they're usually by themselves just kicking off a tee or something like that, or having a long snapper working with them and a holder.
I'm just saying, it seems like from just watching football as a football fan, when they bring in a new kicker, they're like, oh, this guy's new, rookie kicker. And it doesn't seem like it's like, oh, he's blowing it more. Like, it's like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's doing pretty good. He's like,
That's
oh,
usually the
pretty
case.
good.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
They're kickers. They get in their head sometimes, and it messes them up, and then that's their downfall. And then they just bring in the new guy.
yeah.
It's usually head games, is what it's like golf. Like if it gets in your head, you're gonna miss your shots.
Yeah.
And
And
I mean, it could be like that with comedy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there are plenty of people, or doing anything really. You get in there and you start freaking yourself out, or
also, Tucker blew any chance he has getting on any other team.
Oh, he's
After
done,
the
yeah.
allegations, they're like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
too
all
many
right.
headaches.
We got to talk about the NBA playoffs. Have you been watching a little bit of that?
I have.
Did you watch the Knicks game last
I
night?
hate rooting for the Knicks because I'm supposed to hate them.
See, I don't like either one of those teams.
Jalen
but
Brunson is awesome.
I'd rather cheer for the team that came back. That's what I was saying. Like
20 points.
20 points in
Yeah,
the third
dude,
quarter.
that was a good game.
And they came back and won it overtime.
I very much enjoy basketball. I wish that as a young man I had stayed with the Magic and hadn't when I got into radio and everything, I kind of got career minded.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I just didn't follow it as much, and I should have, because I could still have season tickets right now. I could still be going. I like it. I like it having it on. I love basketball.
It's fun, especially the playoff time is always the
Yeah,
best time to watch
playoff basketball, and they
yeah.
fight. It's really
They're
aggressive.
rough, yeah.
It's very aggressive, and I think that's why I kind of like it. Like hockey too, I like it when it just gets gritty.
NHL, that was the next topic I was talking about.
It's almost like these are the only games that matter. And the rest of the whole
I've
season,
been saying that for
80
years.
games, and
yeah,
they're like,
all the rest of the season, it just
then it comes
nothing.
down to like what?
You're like, oh wow, they're trying
dozen
hard.
It's almost like they're fighting for their lives.
They're trying way harder than usual. Anyway,
But that,
comes down
hey,
to
I
ranking,
enjoyed
yeah.
the Magic Celtics series. I mean, for what it was, not good, but I
We're
enjoyed how
missing a lot of our
physical it
players.
was.
That's the
Yeah.
reason why.
Yeah, it
I
was
think
fun.
we'd have at least went to 7 if we had all our players.
Chat room wants to weigh in with I don't like Jalen Brunson's face. I understand that. I have people that I don't like their face, like the
Yeah.
girl from Last of Us.
Yeah.
I don't like looking at her, but she's a phenomenal actress.
yeah, old pie face.
Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Oh, you can say.
I don't think you can say that.
Oh, I thought it was like whimsical.
She's the queen of Bear Island in Game of Thrones.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back then, no pie. She grew into the pie. I don't know.
Having fair
yeah.
Well, once you get an
careful
island, you
about
build.
that, yeah.
If you build an island, you get a pie.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. I learned that from radio. I'm blaming that on radio because I was a young kid and I heard that. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, okay. And then I remembered
So
it.
you just absorb insults and then you reuse them, not knowing
Yeah,
what they
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
do like that.
I like
But that was back in the early 2000s, different time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
Anyway,
justify
next
it.
one.
Just
Okay,
like-
yeah, let's get off of
Well,
it.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
let's move
Radio's
on.
Going to NHL.
God, hold on.
It
Let me
sucks
check.
that the
I'm
Panthers-
getting massage later.
The Panthers had to play the Lightning in the first round, which I didn't like. That kind of sucked, but they went on. But they lost last night. The Panthers did.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay, still going.
But still go. They're in the second round.
There you go.
Stanley Cup is the coolest trophy out of all professional
Oh, for
sports.
sure.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. It's the one that's, I would say, most impressive to hold up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Lombardi Trophy, it seems like there's been so many of them, and Brady did take it down a notch or two, throwing it on the boat. You know, but I'm not just saying. It meant
And
that
the World Series with all the pennants, it kind of
He
seems
Floridified
flimsy
it a little bit.
with Major
meant-
League Baseball.
It just meant that it wasn't that important, obviously, to him, but it just also, like, the players kind of thought of it as a joke, and, like, the Stanley Cup still seems to me more revered. Even by the players. I think most revered trophy amongst the
I'm
players.
a rock and jock to the four.
I used to love the 25-point shot. We
Yeah.
had to like throw it into the rafters.
Well, I remember the first novelty trophy I saw. I was like, that's a better trophy. As a young kid, you know.
So what's going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
It's just the Panthers are moved on is pretty much all I was paying
Yeah.
attention to. I'm not
He's
really
a headline
hockey,
kind of guy.
headline guy.
Yeah, he's a headline guy.
He asked me all this
If you're
stuff.
looking for meat, you better walk on down the road, man. Because this guy comes in there
I
and he's
was
like, hey,
watching- yeah.
the Stanley Cup's going. They're playing some hockey last night. And we're like, okay, man.
The Panthers
You're like
lost.
a crazy
That's all-
person.
pretty
Hey,
much.
hey, they played hockey last night, man. And we're like,
Right.
thank you, homeless man.
You just come on and tell us some.
Well, doing once a month,
Hey,
it's like
hey.
I can't be like really in
Baseball
depth
still.
with stuff. I got to do basic headlines.
There's some baseball going on right now, too. All right, thank you, EJ. And that's sports. Let's go to weather. I don't know. It's hot outside or something.
It might rain.
Yeah, sun. Sun. All right. Okay.
What else you got?
Let's go on to nerd stuff then.
There you go.
All right.
That's what you
That's
wanted
what
to
I
do.
really know about.
Lean into what you like, you nerd.
Should we talk about Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, I
Yes.
watched the
Have
trailer.
you seen the new trailer that
I
came out
watched-
today?
Yeah, I figured you would have that on your list.
Yeah.
And I watched it. Tom
It got
Hardy-
moved back a year, though. It was supposed to come out this year.
I think
in,
that's
like,
probably
October,
for the best.
But I think it's better that they did that. But have you seen the trailer? Looks amazing.
Well, the trailer looks like, and the lead character's name is like Jimmy Duvall, which I'm like, yes, it's
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
Duvall, yeah.
It's Jacksonville.
well, it's
the game.
Florida. The
Yeah,
whole
but
state of Florida
but I
is
think
where
they're-
this map is.
I think they're doing old Florida. And what I mean by that is if you watch the trailer, this guy is dating like a hot Puerto Rican girl,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's white trash, and they're going to be like,
Bonnie and Clyde.
they're going to do Bonnie and
Yep.
Clyde, hillbilly Florida trash.
It's trashy Florida.
Yeah.
Like they did a Miami. That's
Yeah, Vice City.
Latino Florida.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It
Like,
is.
Miami,
well, that
Spanish
was just
Florida.
Miami, Vice City, but it's
Yeah.
it's supposed to go all of Florida. Like it's supposed to have Orlando too, which I'm excited about.
Well,
there's supposed to be a theme park area in the
Yep.
game.
That's what I heard. Is they're
Okay.
going to make it like we are going to get the swamp people. We are going to
Yeah.
get the Disney adults and the theme parks with all the funny stuff. We are going to get
Oh,
like,
like
Duval,
old people,
yeah.
Naples.
yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to
like
get the
a-
old people.
The retirement
Yeah,
communities.
in the new trailer, the old man that pulls up to talk to the Duvall character, he's driving like an F-150 Raptor. I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah.
I was like, this looks like Florida. The dude gets out, he's got flip flops on, cargo shorts, and like a fishing shirt. I'm like, holy crap, that's my neighbor. You know, like it's. I was very
He's like a
excited.
construction site manager that's like, you need you to do little jobs for him and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
I
You can
like
see the
Florida.
missions, yeah.
I like Florida. When I saw the second trailer, and
I'm
it's
super
so
excited.
Florida, and
Yeah.
they did such a good job with it. And when the lead character's last name is Duval, I screamed, and I'm like, this is great. I think this is gonna be great.
Now, with these Grand Theft Auto games, how is it an infinite open world?
No.
Like
No.
when
There
But
is
it's
kind of a
big.
sandbox, but like it's huge.
okay,
Yeah,
gigantic.
that's the reason why it's taken so long.
I can only
It
imagine that
has
this
so much.
one, without even looking at any of the details, will be the largest one. Because why
Yeah.
would you build the next iteration of the game and not make it the biggest?
And when I say
Shoot 5
infinite,
was huge.
like,
yeah, I thought it was great too. I might go back and play it.
I just mean with like internet I guess add-ons and like you can start like
Oh, the online
cha-
component of it?
online
Yeah.
component of it.
Yeah,
like
they'll
you
do
just
that.
make it so
Yeah,
it's
they'll
just
do-
bigger and
definitely do
bigger.
that for sure.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto currently
It's
is
just
still-
mostly online.
They're still adding online stuff to that because people still actively play that every single day. I've got friends that go in and stream it every single day.
But multiple people can't be in the same world. Kind
Yeah.
of. Oh, they
Yeah.
can? Okay.
Yeah,
that's
Grand
all
Theft
right.
Auto,
Sorry.
It's
I'm not
basically Call
familiar.
of Duty with Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, you can
kinda
already do it
stuff,
now.
yeah.
Like I've played with listers before where we're driving around the streets of Miami
Okay,
in
yeah,
like a
okay.
Lamborghini. You know, like this will be you'll be able to
So
do
you can
that.
play with your friends.
Now,
and, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to put this out there. I don't think they're going to launch that at first. Normally, the way that they do it is they launch the game
Yeah, the story mode
with
first.
the story. They let you play that. They give you a few online features. Maybe you'll be able to buy an apartment or hang out or
Yeah.
drive around or something.
A
But they
garage.
don't roll everything out because it's usually like in beta.
Okay.
And then over the next, I'd say probably 10 years, we'll get all of the great stuff that goes with the game. It will be a generationally franchised game like where like it
Every
might be the
decade it'll come
game.
out,
I
yeah.
hate to say this, but it might be the game that if your sons decide to start playing it, it might be the one they play.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay.
the age will line up, right?
Yeah.
The
Well, my
age
son's-
might line up like
My son's
13.
turning 13 in May, so he'll be 14 when it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can let a 14-year-old.
I think I would let my 14-year-old play it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
just gotta be careful
I'm
about
trying
the,
to be reasonable
the sexual
about it.
content in it and stuff like that.
I think it's going to
14,
go hard.
dude.
I think the sexual
yeah,
content's
because
going to go hard in
they
the
seem
game.
like they're going to do that a lot.
The
Yeah,
first
too.
scene in the game
I
is-
knew everything.
She gets
at
out of
14.
prison.
Yeah,
his
she
girlfriend.
he gets the girlfriend out of prison, and the next scene they're rolling around on the bed.
Yeah. I mean, at 14, you know everything.
didn't
You've
know
seen
everything.
I didn't
No?
know everything. I knew enough, but I
No.
didn't know exactly
Yeah,
what
I
was
didn't-
going
You
on.
didn't see all the videos?
I didn't know
I saw the
everything.
videos, but I
The
didn't
magazines?
understand. That was the
Yeah.
thing.
Well, you didn't understand the
14.
video?
I have some
at
jokes.
14.
They show exactly what's happening.
I knew a lot, but I still thought that ladies had to pick their baby out of the toilet and wash it off.
What?
I made that up.
Boy,
Yeah.
14 is ninth grade high school.
I didn't know it all.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know what the number 2 for pleasure was. I didn't know any of that. None of that. I still don't really know that.
I
I still
couldn't
don't
think of a
understand
way
that.
to say that. But
I still don't understand that.
No, I didn't get any of it at 14, but
Oh, me
I
neither.
saw and knew.
Oh, I knew the yeah.
You've seen videos.
I didn't get a computer though for a long time. You were a little more.
No,
you had-
I saw my dad's VHS video,
Yeah.
and my other, my buddy Joe and other like VHS over
I
friends'
did
houses.
see
and
VHS.
pornos.
Yeah, I did see
VHS
VHS.
stuff. Yeah.
So I mean that shows you everything. There's not so much
Yeah,
going on. There's really a couple
But I think I
things.
was confused. I think there were some things that I
There's
didn't
some
understand.
issues. I'm like, I don't know what's going on exactly here,
Yeah.
but I know.
I was like, I
kinda.
think I get the gist of this, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something for me.
That one doesn't look
What
like
happened?
mine.
I was only motivated by that. At 14, that was my life's goal to get what I got in the video. And I was like, I'll do anything for this.
My dad's a wild videos, man. Like, you know.
yeah. And it were worse than some of the videos I've seen now.
Oh yeah. The videos now aren't creepy. Those were creepy.
Yeah, some of them were creepy.
All right, keep going.
Next thing I have is the Thunderbolts. Did you guys get a chance to go see that yet?
Well, considering both of us, me and Tom are two of the largest Avengers fans.
I know.
No, we didn't watch that stupid hunk of
You
crap.
didn't
No, I'll
I heard
watch
it's
it with
good.
my
Good.
sons.
I heard
It's
it's
good.
good. I heard it's good.
I'm gonna take my sons to the movie theaters to watch it.
Yeah, because aren't you caught up on all the Marvel stuff, or are you still watching the shows and stuff like?
I didn't watch.
Be honest.
Did you watch Daredevil?
You're out of it.
No.
Or did you watch? Because that's a little rough for the kids.
I watched all the way.
I don't let my daughter watch anything with blind people in it. And that's a Dennis rule.
I only watch the Braille parts.
I've only missed I've watched all Guardians of the Galaxy, all the the Avengers movies,
The
Oh, you're
movies,
talking
not the
6 years
interconnected
ago,
TV
dude.
shows.
Yeah, some of the TV shows we watched, but we didn't see
Like Moon Knight and She-Hulk. Have you watched any
No.
of those?
I'm
Okay,
not a
that's what I
big
figured.
She-Hulk or
I do like She-Hulk.
Hawkeye.
But I only like the
Well,
porno.
that's the reason. The other reason why I was going to bring up that because Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. Have you heard the story about that? Well,
He got ran over by his own
Well, he got ran over.
bulldozer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
the thing. But
My
no
dad
plow.
also told me on his deathbed to never trust a man that gets run over by his own bulldozer. Because that means that's a weak man.
because he was supposed to be in Hawkeye season 2, and they offered him half the money, and he's like, nah. And they're saying that I'm only half a Jeremy Renner because I got ran over by a snowplow. You're only getting half me the money.
Just get somebody else to play it. It's not that
Well,
important.
I think that he's just trying to use that as an injury so he could use that, or they were going to give him less work to do. They were trying to push the Haley Steinfeld is the new Hawkeye. She's Kate Bishop in the show.
Oh, right. I know what you
And
mean.
he's like that mentor of her, and I think they were just going to show less of him, and that's why they wanted to pay him less. Is my thought on it.
Okay.
It's like you're only going to be barely a cameo. Why are we going to give you a full salary if you're
I
going to
don't
be here
think-
for
I think
two scenes?
the payday for this stuff, and look, this isn't my world, but I think the payday for a lot of this stuff is gone because I think most of us, like the initial kind of Marvel, everything is like kind of wane. Even you guys are like that love it are cannibalizing each other and you're eating each other and you're all fighting about it now and you hate it. So I think it's kind of done. You guys crapped it all
I have
up.
some complaints and stuff like
Yeah.
the new Thunderbolts movie. They're already ruining the surprise on some of it. They're showing it that
with
it's
the
the
posters?
new Avengers. Yeah, the posters. I don't
didn't-
like that.
Okay, I knew that before going in just
Yeah.
because I read, and I thought that was a weird flex too.
I'm like, why? I would at least wait 2 weeks. But I understand they want to get the second week numbers up, and that's why they're doing it this way. It's like, hey, it's the new Avengers movie. You got to go see it instead of it's the Thunderbolts movie. What's the Thunderbolts?
Right.
It's become so big and such big business that they are, of course, acting like any corporation,
Yeah.
giant corporation, which is you're easily interchangeable,
Yep.
and we'll just put someone else in there. And that's giant corporation how they do not want to give one person any sort of leverage against them.
No.
They'd rather
They already
fail.
got that with Robert Downey Jr. So
Yes, yeah. And they probably said, we'll never let
Never
this
again,
happen.
yeah.
And, that's I'm sure, that's happened throughout the time of giant corporations. If someone, they learn their lesson. They're like, we'll never let someone get this powerful amongst characters.
You don't want someone
again.
having leverage over you anytime.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I don't want to have leverage against me, which you do, but whatever.
Yeah, that one thing.
I'm thinking of it right now, and I love it. Like it makes me smile. Do you know how many?
Yeah.
Do you know
Let's
how
just
many
talk about
AI
it.
songs
No.
I've written about that?
I can't right now.
Do you understand how many AI?
Oh, I bet
songs-
you have like 6 or 7.
Oh, I have
Daniel sends it
rap-
to me all the time.
I go here. I made a new rap song.
Can we just play the AI song about it? And we won't say what it is.
No, the one I
No,
wrote.
it's too
the
specific.
new one
I know
goes
for
into
sure. It'll definitely
the new one
say
goes into
everything.
graphic detail. You know what? Just the fact that you let us fly this close to it makes
I
you
want
a,
to
makes you a
close,
tough.
but I
makes
know,
you a
yeah.
tough. This is a tough man right here.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta be careful because
Yeah, he could take some bullying. This guy's a tough.
I know, that's why I like it.
I love this
Take
guy.
anything.
The other thing I have, well, you guys have been spoiling Last of Us for everyone, which is kind of fun. I enjoy
See,
that.
I don't think I did because I think it's been a long time
It's been
since
known. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
I
that.
didn't know.
You didn't know?
No, because I don't play. I never played that video game.
I'm not even watching this season. I'm gonna wait till it's all the way over and then watch all of it together.
Have you played the game?
I've never played the game,
Dude,
But I've never played the game. I knew though.
Game over show all day.
Oh, for sure.
All day. Just get the game. I convinced my buddy Will to do that. He's like, I'm just get the game. Yeah, the game is awesome.
Well, it's kind of like God of War. I don't want to see a movie or show about that. I think they would ruin it because the game is so much better.
The God of War is an amazing game. Yeah. Witcher, I thought they did an okay job.
Well, you got someone who loves the show.
But again, game over show all day.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
what are you going to complain about Last of Us?
now I already talked about it a little bit, and I know some people they're like, it's the young, good-looking woman badass. That they try to have to.
She's 5'3" and
But
weighs
in-
116 pounds.
But not only her, other characters. Like, it's not, if
Yeah.
she was the only one, it's like, oh, well, maybe she's special in some way. And I get that. And it's like,
Well,
no,
she's special because she can't turn. That's the one thing. So that's kind of.
we're going to have a lot of young,
There might be a reason.
good-looking women badasses and all, and even the villains. It's just
Okay.
And then I'm just like,
I only like them if they're Amazon. But that's what I'm into.
and
Yeah.
it's not even that there you can't be a young, good-looking woman badass. Of course there can. I've seen lots of them.
It says on your paper here, I will never.
Yeah, I would never let a jiu-jitsu woman tap me out.
Felicia Spencer could beat up most people I know.
Oh, yeah.
And then young,
vouch for
good-looking woman badass, right? So I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the post-apocalyptic world, and just knowing how human behavior, it's like, okay, I understand this might be current times in a different world or whatever, but they're still humans. And I'm like, I don't know if the end of the world human militias would be so accommodating.
They would be filled with 5'3", 116 pound women badass.
I think it diverged in 2003 because that was like at the beginning of it. That's when it happened, right?
I feel like
it was somewhere around there, like change of the millennium.
the men in this world would be horrible animals, and wouldn't wouldn't be so cool with what's going on here.
I think I can fix this. That's why the game helps.
Yeah,
because if you're playing the character, it is more realistic because you're playing it and you can get killed.
Yeah, if you get grabs and stuff like that,
right?
You're going down.
It is like I just think the game's better because you're in charge of it, and
there's just some writing where it's like, oh well, we're gonna go get him, and they were like, oh, we're so afraid of her, we have to listen. And I'm like, I don't think you would listen in real life. I think you would just be like, let's get her. Because you're
it's
crazy.
done. It's done. You're yelling. It's done. You could have just pushed her over.
There's anyway. Sorry, I can go ahead.
That's it. That's all I had for Last of Us. And also, Andor Season 2 is also out right now. I'm waiting for that to be over with, too, because I'm like, the first episode, it just didn't grab me.
I do a lot of these,
Even though, especially because it's a prequel to...
Throughout the year, I'll ask this, where are we at on Star Wars? Where are we at?
Everyone loves it, though. It's the most non-Star Wars show, as
people like
everyone's
it?
saying. Yeah. And I just...
Are we getting
for
anything
me,
new?
I want Star Wars.
Are we getting anything new from Star Wars?
There's a couple of things. They're doing an animated show. What was it called? Oh, crap. I don't want to get this wrong and get blown up on the BA.
Well, you will.
Yeah, no. It's
You
like the
will.
underground, like basically all the gangsters of Star Wars.
Oh, that's cool.
Animated show about that. Supposedly Ventress from Clone Wars is supposed to be in it.
That would be... Now, are we getting any other big pieces?
Movies. There's supposed to be like a Starfighter one they were working on, but it keeps on getting post-production and messes and stuff like that. But it's Star Wars.
Your boys like Star Wars still, right?
They do.
They're into that.
Yeah. And I know this is a kind of Star Wars adjacent, but also old nerd news. But I did watch Dune 2. And then we started watching the Dune series.
Did you start talking like the guys in that? Because I know you talk like that all the time.
Swim off right now.
Let's
I can
go.
get you. I was swimming
Let's
yesterday,
go.
and the
I have
whole
my
time,
bathing suit in the truck.
The whole
Let's go.
time, all right.
You were in a flow state? You wanna
The
go?
whole time I was like, I can get him now. I'm swimming 1,000 yards every week. Anyway.
Competition lights the
You wanna
fire
do
in my
it?
belly. I'll do it right now. I don't care.
Don't say anything lights a fire in the belly. Because I think we're going to need more wood.
That fire will last forever.
It's a tire fire. Is that what you're
JFK,
saying?
eternal flame.
I was thinking more of whale oil.
That's weird. Weren't you supposed to be at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier?
Yeah, pretty much.
So back to Dune.
Yeah.
So I'm watching Dune, and it's good. It's fine.
Is that got Shyamalan in it?
Shyamalan, yeah.
And he's got the booger tube in his nose?
yeah,
Yeah.
booger tube. And
I
Zendaya is in it.
By
yeah.
the way, I hate Shyamalan.
Really?
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet is he's my new
He's
arch
a
enemy.
nothing for me.
I really hate him.
no,
I
he's
hate his
good.
glasses. I hate his dumb pants.
he wants to be good.
I hate how skinny he is. I hate how I want to hit him with something.
So
My wife doesn't think he's a real man.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
Which is like, okay.
in the
He's gross.
in the movie Dune, this is not spoiling anything, but they have to do this certain sand walk so the worms don't get them, right? Because they
It's like this. You get
Let's walk like an Egyptian.
That's my dad joke of the day.
and they're like, we have to do this walk so we don't do a repetitive motion,
Yeah.
which calls the worms.
It's like what we do with stingrays.
You know.
Shuffle your feet.
You shuffle
Yeah,
your
yeah,
feet
okay,
when
yeah.
you're going to get a white claw.
Yeah, but it's this whole. I know it's art, and they're like, it's this whole dance, elaborate, the whole zoomy. They can do this like swoopy doo. It's like a.
Please show us how the dance
It's like
is.
it's like a fancy
Yeah.
urban handshake, and Tom hates them.
Yeah.
I was like, you can't just walk in a rhythm. Oh god.
Can't you just
Rhythmic
walk in
way.
a unrhythm way?
Just talk like
cadence.
Rhythm is our dancer.
God damn it! I hate when I mess up in front of EJ. I'll think about this for 2 days
Oh, it's
straight.
gonna bother Tom.
Yeah, I'll stay awake.
This is
And
gonna help
God
me
damn
not
it.
be melancholy. Thank you,
Can't
Tom. I
you
needed
just
this.
walk in a rhythm way? What were you trying to say?
No.
Try to walk in a non-rhythmic way?
Yes, I
Yes.
mean there's ways besides doing a long
swoopy-doo.
swooping
And a
Doing the electric slide in the
Right.
sand.
And
Yeah.
it's like you just I understand, just don't walk like do. That gets the worms, all right?
Yeah, take your goddamn shit.
That's
Put
the
some
one
Crocs
thing
on.
you took away from that movie. That's the
Well,
only thing that
I-
bothers you.
no, it's
Not
never-
the slow fighting or any of that
Yeah,
stuff.
just every time they did it, I was like, God, get out of here with that. You can do it. You don't have to do it
You know
exactly
why he's saying
like
that? Because
that.
he wouldn't do it, and he knows he get eaten
Yeah,
by a worm.
he would definitely get
wouldn't
eaten.
do it, and the worm would come and get you, and you'd be mad
That'd
as
be
hell.
one of the universes Tom would never survive in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if I
With his
start,
stiff legs walking down the
And,
street.
and guess what? He's not wearing that tube in his nose
No.
either. Guaranteed. He'll slap that thing out.
was barely doing anything. Anyway,
Just like the mask during COVID.
Oh my God, you on sandworms is good. I might have to watch Dune. I haven't watched any Dune.
I haven't watched the second one yet.
I haven't watched any
watched
of
the
it.
first one during the COVID because there was nothing else going on.
After I saw the trailer for the first one and it had that fat man floating in the clouds, I'm like, I'm out.
yeah. Well, this is not nerd related, but have you
Okay.
been watching Righteous Gemstones?
I have not. That's the one
It's
show
so funny.
everyone keeps on recommending to me.
I'm caught
It's
up
so
now,
funny.
and it's probably.
I like Walter Goggins. I like Danny McBride. I should watch the show.
And it's extra Baby Billy this season, and
Yeah.
because they knew they were like,
Let 'em eat cake.
America
Yeah.
loves
Yeah.
Baby Billy, and he's in every episode, and it's hilarious.
And isn't it like they're doing like young Jesus, like the years they really don't talk about in the Bible?
Teen Jesus.
Yeah,
Tejas.
It's Tejas. Yeah, you gotta watch Tejas.
yeah, it's super funny.
One of the things too that I think is kind of interesting is that Walton Goggins is going to be on Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
and he was at the Met Gala last night. That the woman that was made fun of by SNL that it does have the pronounced teeth. I'm blanking on her name. Amy Lee Woods, is that her name or something like that? Like there is like this media narrative where they're like fighting against each
Yeah.
other, and I don't think it's real because they interviewed her at the Met Gala and said like. They went right for her, too. They're like, what do you think about the Walton Goggins thing, him on SNL? And she's like, I think he'll be great because that's what he does best.
Yeah, it's like the 50th anniversary. Like
Yeah,
him
it didn't-
and Scarlett Johansson are supposed to finish up the season.
I don't think it was a real thing. I don't
Oh, you think it was just played up so they could get press about it.
I think it may
and
have
make
been
a stir about it.
No, it may have been real within the media, but I don't. Between the two of them, I don't think
you're making fun of me. That's good because that means you like me. Probably
I
same
don't
thing.
think
Right
it's
as
a
I come
thing.
here.
I don't think it's a thing.
probably
But the
not.
media wants it to be, so they just keep
Well,
pushing
it
the
was.
narrative.
I mean,
yeah.
the media made it a thing. Like I would go in here to look for just something incidental for us to talk about,
Yeah.
and it was like lead story. I'm like, I don't. Like after her saying it, she's like, "Oh yeah, he's great at improv. I loved working with him."
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
well, there it's dead.
But there's always publicists that are pushing stuff like that all the time, just to get your
guess.
person out there.
So let's talk Met Gala real quick because I hate, and I don't know
The weird
if-
dresses.
Well, no.
I hate it too.
The
I'm
fact,
glad
like
you
it
hate
either,
it
yeah.
too.
the fact
The
that
fashion is dumb.
the NFL players are going.
Oh yeah,
and
like
now they may
Jalen
have,
Hurt was there with his wife.
Yes, and
Yeah.
they may have always gone, but I don't remember stories about because I saw multiple NFL players at the Met Gala, and
Kelsey kind of started that, being a fashion-y guy.
Probably
was it?
Or Cam Newton. There are guys eccentric,
that love to
rich,
dress up.
that
yeah.
can access the designers that we can't as normal people that like that world. A$AP Rocky's in that world. You wouldn't guess he's in that world. Kanye likes to think of himself as being in that world. But to be in the fashion world is almost like I don't know. To me, it's like saying I'm a photographer. You know, everybody says that.
Yeah.
Like A$AP Rocky wore his. He was like Anna Wintour from Vogue asked me to wear a black designer, and he said, so I wore myself. All of this was designed by me, and I'm like, oh, that's all
Ugh.
crap. You didn't do nothing.
I might be old school, but I like a good dodo, big tooth Elway that doesn't know nothing, that drinks Miller Lite and doesn't go
I
to
thought
no.
you're more of a hero with Brett Favre and stealing
No,
money
yeah.
from people.
We like Elway. You want to know why we like
farm
Elway?
and that old, like they would
Yeah.
never be.
They
caught
would never
dead.
do that stuff.
Yeah,
They'd rather be like.
We like Elway because he's
Larry
gonna
Bird.
crash his golf cart and kill his best friend. That's what we like.
Did he die?
Yeah,
Too
Oh,
soon?
man.
Too soon?
yeah.
You know the difference between John Elway and Vince Neil?
What?
Nothing. They both crashed a car, killed their best
Killed a friend, yeah.
Yeah, nothing. There's nothing. Both famous. Too soon? Too soon? Am I not allowed to do that?
Did he go like this before he died?
Did you see? Did you the social media video of Cam Newton going up to Shador Sanders, and then Shador's like calling him a weirdo because he's shredded.
wish
It
I
kind of
pulled
makes you
that.
like Shador a little bit.
Yes,
I wish I pulled that. It did. And it did make me like Shador, and I do not like him, and now I do.
Yeah.
It changed my mind.
Because
You're exactly
Cam
right.
Newton has round, future balloon glasses.
Yeah, huge
and-
top hat.
yeah, but
with a
knitted-
feather in it.
But he's wearing like a knitted purple Bizarro shirt, and then but Shador's
Looks like Grandmama Larry Johnson back in the day.
yeah. I forgot what he said, but he's like, oh, you're like, no, he's like weird, something about being weird, and
Yeah.
it was funny because Cam Newton like pretended like he didn't hear it because it's
It hurt his-
embarrassing.
It hurt his feelings for sure.
Like a young new recruit, like you're a has-been, Newton. You know what I'm saying? And Newton's a has-been.
Yeah, he is a has-been, but
Yeah.
but he's also talking to a never was yet. So
No, it's true. But
Yeah,
when it
no,
gets
that's
here,
true.
but
He could have played his way out a little better. He didn't handle that
Yeah.
well.
yeah. But it's still funny because Newton's
Super funny.
because he still says like he'll talk crap about players and stuff and like
Yeah.
and like say
I
his
like
real
that.
opinion.
It makes
I
it
do.
funny.
I do
Yeah.
like it, but then
I
you
think Antonio
'Cause it's
Brown
real.
I think
But-
Antonio Brown was just on Kill Tony.
but if you
really,
Yeah.
if you do that, you gotta take the weirdo.
Oh, you're gonna take
Because
some shots.
when
Yeah,
you
for
dress
sure.
like a weirdo.
Yeah. That's the thing I've never understood about Cam Newton is like he would dress how you want to dress. But if you're dressed like a grandma, you can't say that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know,
you have
that's
to
a
be
weird.
self-aware.
he was
Yeah.
in that class with Tebow and the killer Aaron Hernandez. He was at Florida when those guys were there.
Yeah,
so
he
of
was a
course,
badass.
it was a really weird area. And then he went to Auburn. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about Belichick for a second.
See, I don't care about that story.
No,
That's why I didn't even bring it up.
Tom
Like, I
doesn't.
don't care about
Tom's been
an
taken
old guy
up.
with a young lady. Okay.
Tom's been taken up for all. If you're in that camp too. No, Jordan is ruining his. She's gonna ruin it. Old Jordan's
I think
gonna
it's just
ruin
a
it.
media narrative that it's like.
No, you can look at her face. All I need to do to know that I'm right is look at that mean ass face when she's peeking over those monitors, like about to like shut it down. I'm like, oh, Bill, you don't know what you got yourself
you're
in,
in trouble,
buddy.
yeah.
You got yourself a 24-year-old grunt-faced
Yeah.
carp. Oh God. You got yourself. You got yourself an
She's making
accelerated
money
old.
on real estate like crazy. I've like
Oh,
like
yeah.
her portfolio went from
And
like
then- and then
200,000 to $8 million.
And nothing says come and be recruited by North Carolina like, hey, I need my 24-year-old girlfriend to be CC'd on all emails that go to the coaching staff. Nothing says confidence like that.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If I could put myself in Belichick's shoes, and let's say 30 years, which is about his age, right?
So you're gonna
So
coach a bunch of Super Bowls and win them.
let's say no, in the podcast world, 30 more years, I become the Belichick of podcasts.
But I
right?
am not answering to your 24-year-old girlfriend. I'm not
Daniel's
CCing
dead, of
her on
course.
email.
Yeah.
I'm not CCing her on it. Well, Maisie won't either. I have already instructed Maisie to not CC your 24-year-old girlfriend on any of what happens here at the podcast.
And let's say I amassed over $100 million like Belichick, and I'm the Belichick of podcasts, where I've won
you should start
every
calling yourself that. I do
Well,
appreciate it.
isn't Adam Carolla the Belichick of podcast? Because
yes,
didn't he do
yeah.
the same thing?
Well, this
he left his wife for that young lady too.
yeah.
he did.
But
So it's already been done. So you're just copying someone else.
Me and Tom
Okay.
are so boring.
he hasn't amassed what Belichick has amassed.
Yeah.
Belichick has amassed an amount of money that's a F you, F everybody amount
Yeah,
of
he
money.
doesn't care.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
It's a generational wealth. That,
Yeah.
and it
Hence
will never
why
be
he's
served.
living the way he's living.
And then you
I
get
don't blame him.
and then I get to, I'm 73 years old, and then let's say, I downgrade. I can't work in the professional podcast industry anymore. No one wants me, but I go work down, in the college level podcasts. And I get there, and then in between that time, I'm like, oh, this is good. Some 24-year-old expressed some interest in me, and then she's
no.
doing,
Let's
what.
call it what it really is. Let's call it what it really is.
I don't care.
So you're nobody wants your podcast.
Yeah.
You use an escort site to find this 24-year-old, and you say, "Hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars." You're not really explaining this. She just kind of reads through the lines.
Yeah.
It's a business deal.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
buying her to come.
Yeah.
So let's
that's the best
I'm
deal.
just saying you got to call it what it is, though.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the theory or speculation.
No, but you say things with certainty on the show all the time. I'm doing it too.
Well,
She
yeah.
was an escort.
Oh,
It's a deal.
you don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I know. 100%.
Yeah.
She's
Definitely.
not there for his
Definitely.
looks.
I don't know, man.
Or personality. Have you
All you
talked
have
to
to do
him?
when he says that is just
Yeah.
go, I don't know, man.
Here's how I know she's not, because escorts know other escorts, and they would have come out already.
Yeah,
and
but
said like, I work with her.
Three
already.
other presidents of big companies that dated her have already come out. Not an escort?
Yeah, but where's
Three
that?
other presidents that dated her of other companies, and they all met her
Yeah.
on what? Plenty of fish?
Well,
Come on, man.
Well, I mean, she could be a gold digger, which, or an opportunist,
No.
which is fine.
I'll still go
And
with
if-
my theory.
And in fact, escort's fine with me. Gold digger, fine,
Yeah,
whatever.
just go with escort.
Who cares? Because I have unlimited money, and I want to bang this 24-year-old, and that's all. And then I want to, coach my football, do whatever I want, and then have this relationship. I feel like he's the winner in all this.
Well, the
and
best
who's
thing
the
for
loser?
the best thing for your team right now is,
His kids?
and the best thing for the team right now is not happening. There are plenty of reports saying that North Carolina was supposed to have had a really, really good
Class.
recruiting
Yeah.
class, and that they are lukewarm at best, and they equate all of this to a lack of confidence within him and his assistant, which is her.
Is she really his assistant? She's
being CC'd on
Yeah.
all operational emails.
Yeah, but what does
There
that
are-
mean? That means nothing.
That it means it has to go through her first. She shut
That
down the
CC is
Hard
not-
Knock thing. The Hard Knock thing that was going to happen, she shut that down. She made the call on it. He's not making the shots.
So she wouldn't have control
He's
of the
not
Hard Knock
calling the
thing.
shots
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, but how do you know she's not? He's not just telling her that, and then she's.
I
handling
don't
it.
know that, but
Yeah,
I'm just
Belichick
saying
is-
this
he's not-
doesn't build confidence.
You're not giving some 24-year-old say over his life. Come on.
I'm just
I mean,
saying,
how
look,
ridiculous
I'm just
does that
saying
sound,
the
though?
truth, and you're doing the same thing I do, and
You're
I'm just
falling
going,
into.
I don't know.
You're
I
falling
don't know.
into media.
I don't know.
BS.
Guess we'll find
Tom,
out.
who's in charge of your life?
I
Is it
guess
a
we'll
woman?
find out.
Yeah, well, in certain
I'm
things
just
that I
saying
don't
that
care
Tom
about,
is-
just like Belichick. He doesn't care about any of this. He's like, I just want to do my job. But
I don't
Crystal's not
CC
in charge.
Crystal on podcast emails. I know I don't don't do that.
Yeah, because she don't want that. But if she did,
she
that's
said-
great.
So
Would
why
you
would
make it
Jordan?
But
Why
what-
would Jordan want that?
But
then?
see, being CC'd is not you have to go through her. It's just that you're tagging her so she can read it too.
And well, why would she
Why
need
would I-
that?
yeah.
And if I were a young man,
'Cause
that
I
were
told-
gonna, if I were a young man that were interested in going and playing for a championship coach, and if I heard that, I'd be like, God damn! So you're gonna have to your young side
girlfriend?
piece. I
Yeah.
gotta shoot an email past her first to go talk to Grandpa.
Well, but that's not CC. That's not past her first.
You're playing
CC.
semantics to try and win your argument. You're losing. You lost. When you're explaining, you're losing.
No.
He hates this. He
Tom
lost.
doesn't want
He
to
lost.
live.
He doesn't
You're
wanna
ruining
lose.
his fantasy. That's what it is.
And you know what he hates is I hit him with I'm like, oh, she's doing this, she's doing this, she's
Facts.
doing this,
No,
she's doing this.
but
He's like,
that's
that don't mean nothing, which is what I do. And he said you can't do that.
Yeah, no, but
Stop being so sensitive, Tom.
but
Hey, you lost this one, buddy. It's
No, I
okay.
didn't lose it.
You lost this argument.
No. You're
Yeah.
going. You're going. The media and the people hate women, and then
I don't hate women.
No,
Well, that's
I
what's
love
happening. She's one time acted like a publicist, like we're not talking about that, which any other publicist would have
Do
done.
that, yeah, for sure.
And then people are like, "Oh, how dare she tell Belichick?" And
Tom
then-
is totally wrong in the chat room. Great, that's all I needed to say. There you go.
Yeah, but what tells you that Belichick's like, I'm so weak, I'm just gonna let this girl take over my entire? Give me a break. You think someone like a 73-year-old Belichick's gonna say that?
His
Who's gonna-
program is not looking good.
Who thinks Belichick is like, oh, she's
I'm
gonna
going on the
yell
proof.
at me?
All
What
I-
are you talking about?
All I
What
can
are-
do is go on the proof.
Yeah,
The
but-
recruitment class,
Yeah.
they said, and this is not me, these are men, the sports writers that saw the people that they were expecting to go to North Carolina did not. All right.
Yeah. Why?
So it's just a that must
Because
have
of
just
that-
been
Also, it's recruiting. Who cares?
yeah.
Like, they're not proven or anything.
Right,
It's like
you're
they're
right.
good in high school, okay, but when they get to the next level, are they going to be good?
Yeah, and Belichick knows. It's just all noise. Now, he did open himself up to all this distraction.
By
which-
doing this, it's a mistake, I think.
And
Which
he's
is,
not, and also
he
he's-
should have known better.
He's
after all.
also not right now hiring an emergency PR person. That's not happening either. Don't look that
No,
up. That's
he'll
not
never do
happening.
that.
No, that is happening right now.
Is he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Really?
well, because people came
He
to him.
knows
and
how
like,
to deal with the media, though.
well, not in the
He's
college.
one of the- Yeah, I guess in that scenario, he doesn't know
it
how
doesn't
to do
matter,
it.
right?
Yeah.
These are just things that are actually happening, but they don't matter.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
They kind of don't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know,
like
it's
I
like,
said,
he knows what he's doing.
Like I
Nothing
said at the
wrong's
beginning,
happening.
I don't really care about the story
Nothing's
anyway.
wrong's happening at all. It's totally fine. Nothing's wrong.
This doesn't move the needle for me at all. It's like a guy,
Like even
an old
Conway
man
J.
with a young
Conway J
lady.
says she's literally interrupting him during interviews.
Yeah, but that's what a publicist does, Conway J.
So she's a publicist now?
Well, that's what she was
That's
acting
weird.
as his publicist during that interview, which
I
any
think
other
he's on the-
publicist.
Tom's on the tape.
Tom's on the
No,
tape.
no.
Yeah, you're on
Did
the
you get
tape.
some money from North Carolina?
No,
Did you get
I
an
don't care.
endowment or something like that?
I just see things like this, and you're like, because that's a narrative of like, oh, women just got a claws and I'm controlling them because that's what I'm afraid is going to happen to. It's like that narrative of
It's
like
happened quite a
she's
few times to you, yeah.
controlling Belichick now. It's like what part of Belichick's personality have you known over the years is like some 24-year-old's going to be like controlling his
Tracy
every
says,
move.
I'm amazed Tom thinks it's okay that she's his publicist. Look, he'll think anything's okay if it wins his argument. Come on, man.
That
He'll
might have been a bad
he'll
move,
flip-flop
but-
every different
But,
side. Just
but
as like,
Daniel's implying that she's now taking control of all football operations. That's ridiculous. It seems
I didn't say.
absurd.
I'm saying she CC'd on football operations. I didn't say she was taking control
why
of
does
it.
she
I
need
was
that?
just
Like,
saying.
eh.
Look, I'll just go back to my example again. If I were being recruited and I found out that I had to CC Tom's wife on it, I'm not going to your school.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I think
Yeah,
it does not breed confidence. It does not look like the Belichick of the old dusty sweater and
But also, it,
mega
like,
championship.
I think that does help with the NIL, though. Her being there probably helps with NIL stuff.
Why?
Because you're getting media coverage and it's gonna help you with stuff like that and bringing attention.
See, I
So
don't
you
know
have
enough
more,
about that to say
I
whether
think you're
it would
getting
help
more
or not.
exposure because of the whole scenario that's going on there.
Oh, if he
so
just
that's
wants
the reason
exposure,
why.
then you don't. Then
He's
don't,
doing the right things for
If he
exposure.
just wants exposure, then nothing I say matters.
Yeah, nothing matters.
But
Yeah.
definitely doesn't want the story because the story is that like so this lady
That
has
the
some
lady's
sort of
in
And,
charge.
control.
and then
Control,
again,
yeah.
I ask myself this too.
And it's like,
How old
that's-
is he?
Seems ridiculous.
How old is he?
72.
Also, I don't
74?
think that
Old.
he's a human, right? I
Yeah.
think at 70, whatever, as an old man, I don't think you're okay with people saying even what I'm saying right now. So if the
Yeah.
media is saying that, you can bet your ass. He's not sitting back just being, that's just noise. It bothers him. It bothers him.
I
It may
don't
not
know,
bother him. He may not
he's
care
kind
at
of
all.
that guy
I think
that
it
doesn't
bothers
care.
him. I think it bothers him, or he wouldn't have hired the emergency PR person.
Yeah, maybe. Or they forced him to.
But he-
like maybe the school made him.
Okay, that's
Made him
another
hire
thing,
that.
but that looks weak.
But that's well.
that looks weak. The school is now telling you what to do. You're Belichick.
But it's a school. You're getting paid. They're one providing the paycheck, not the other way around.
They're still there.
She's not an employee, though, of
That's
that.
true.
She also says that she's the chief operating officer of Belichick Holdings. Look that up.
All right. What does that mean, though?
I don't know, but she's saying it. To me, it's not helpful.
Like I said, you have more ammunition than I do, so I have no clue what's going on because I don't care.
They're just feeding into the Reddit narrative of this. She's the devil. She's the banshee, as she's
I just want
screaming the siren song at him. And it's like, oh, come on.
I just want Belichick to go into his normal next question.
No.
Oh, just old man wants to bang a 24-year-old? Okay.
I don't blame him for that.
That's been going on for eternity.
Yeah.
Back up the tape. Never said anything bad about that. Back up the tape.
All right, EJ, we got to get out of here. What?
MyCon is coming back next year, so definitely play for that.
Away,
Yeah,
next year?
Come see me at Bull and Bush and do trivia with
Are you
going to
ever do comedy again?
I don't know. Every once in a while I get the itch, but every once in a while it's like, then I'm rusty and I don't want to sorry.
That was unnecessary.
Sorry.
All right. Well, on that note.
That hurt my feelings a little bit.
And you think that not wanting the bomb would have you not get into comedy at the beginning?
No.
Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
Not wasting my time. I mean, it's about, I'm a little upset. I was in a parking lot. I don't know if I told you guys this, but some guy was yelling at a Tesla owner, calling him a Nazi or a Nazi.
Yeah.
And then they got into their VW Bug.
Yeah, that was the car of the people. It was
actually a good one.
Volkswagen. That was funded by Hitler. Mr. Van, would you like to
Time
start?
for the Zany Report, a little feature we do here.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be so bold. Porky's, brought to you by Porky's, because I will be there in November at Porky's Comedy Club and Barbecue. Finally, the two have met. I've done a lot of comedy at the comedy and sushi houses, but then sometimes half the audience gets sick on bad sushi.
Yeah, it's the sashimi. It's the sashimi.
Let's get right into it.
Oh, sorry.
The United Kingdom is testing software designed to predict whether someone might be a future killer. In fact, they've already predicted the first victim. Whoever thought this was a good idea?
I like that one. I actually like that. Yeah, I like that one.
Too smart for the room?
Well, Bob, it's in Florida. You understand Florida.
Get rolling. We're getting rolling.
You know what education is here?
Dateline, Florida.
Yeah.
Disney World. A fire in a walk-in cooler caused a white plume of smoke at Epcot Center. Most Catholic parkgoers started applauding because they thought they elected a new pope.
Yeah. You know where we might get an African pope, or we may get an Asian pope.
Or the pizza guy.
Oh, yeah, there is one called Papa Pizza.
I want Papa Pizza to win.
His name is Papa Pizza?
There's one guy that might be Pope, and his last name is like Papa Pizza or something. So it'd be like
Pope Papa Pizza.
Yes.
No.
I
swear it's
I'm
true.
glad you guys brought that up. Papa John's and Papa Murphy's Pizza are merging, and they're going to change their name to My Two Dads. Ames, Iowa, guys. A beaver took down a tree, caused a power outage to 1,500 residents. Now, the last time a beaver did this much damage was Sharon Stone in the movie Basic Instinct.
My dad would be, you know what?
The most paused scene in history.
Hold on, that gets a blast.
I never understood why it was called a beaver.
Don't say that.
Because there's lots of animals that just have brown hair. Right? Is it about the
I
mouse?
explain a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to go in.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't really say it on the radio.
Is it the
I
beaver
think it's
mouth?
a joy that I can bring out these discussion groups with you two.
Is it the tail?
And the guy on the side. Who's on the side there?
Oh, EJ's
why
here
is it
today. Sorry, we have our fattest friend in today.
Why isn't it like a muskrat?
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah, I'm used
It's
to
really
it.
nice when you have a moniker.
Yeah, and this is EJ, our fattest friend.
Thank you. Hey, DJ. Hey, listen, this is interesting. We're going to go back in time and revisit a past Zany Report joke. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
It worked. This is from October 10th, 2017. The newest winner of Lucky for Life Lotto game. By the way, it sounds like Lucky for Life Lotto game. You guys have that in Florida?
We do. We do have that.
Yeah, it pays you $25,000 a year for life. A 92-year-old Iowa man won it. When asked what he plans to do with the money, he said, "Make it to 93."
I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah. It does stink if you're
You
old.
know these were jokes, and it's not a good answer. By the way, I do want to point this out. This is a picture of me when I started. I guess it doesn't work, does it? Here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Hold on. We lost it.
You fell into space.
It's not working. You know, it's because of my backdrop, because I really want to be celestial.
It's fine.
So go ahead. What were you guys saying?
Well, Tom, I don't know. Tom was looking at his watch or something. Like he has no idea what's happening.
I was looking at my
Tom
watch.
was looking at his
I
watch.
love this time of the month with Zany.
You know what's going to happen? Tom's going to be at the Red Lobster tonight on a date going, why do they call it a beaver?
Is it just for the brown hair? Is it the hair? Is it the tail? Nothing really.
Yeah, we'll look it up. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
We'll actually look it up.
Yeah, it should be closer.
Most slang doesn't make sense. But again, what do I know? You guys are the best. Porky's in November.
Porky's in November.
Until next time that the internet's down, this is Bob Zany. Baby.
See you, baby.
Right.
Bob
See you,
Zany,
Zany.
everybody. He's gone. That is our buddy Bob Zany.
It should be like horse lips or something.
Hey, easy. You gotta
Well,
be
actually,
easy.
no, it's in the,
Well,
in the
there's
90s.
a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot of these. Clam,
Yeah.
snatch,
Yeah.
beaver,
axe wound.
Yeah, but why use the specific mammal of beaver? Why
I
the
think you
other
nailed
mammals?
it. I think it is because stereotypically,
buck teeth and
no,
the split.
stereotypically when drawing, you're going too far. You just need to slow down.
Buck
Yeah,
teeth.
you just
The
let,
beaver.
Let,
What do you
let a professional talk about this. It's because of like the patch of I think hair.
Yeah.
And it would be traditionally stereotypically it would be drawn dark.
Yeah.
And I think you nailed it. I think it's the hair.
Okay, but
Nothing more than that. Nope. Nothing more than that.
But a beaver's mammal's hair is like a lot of other mammals' hair, right? Like why specifically the beaver?
Because it's
Smaller.
aquatic, maybe?
Smaller.
Aquatic and wet.
You're not gonna call it a moose.
No, but a rat. There's a like small like brown rats.
Yeah, but you're not excited about a rat.
There,
You know what? Rats are more gray.
there's gerbils.
He's trying to Belichick me on the beaver question. I know he is.
Well, there's small
No
hairy
answer
animals.
is he's gonna accept. Yeah, we're gonna give him the right
Yeah, he
answer.
doesn't-
But is
He's
there
not
something
gonna-
unique to the beaver's hair?
He doesn't
Yeah.
accept any answers. That's the thing I'm starting to like freak
Yeah.
out about. Is like I don't know what to tell
What do
him.
you want us to tell
I
you?
do think it is the stereotype of the hair, the brown.
the color.
Okay, you want me to ask ChatGPT and see
Ask
if it actually? I guess
ChatGPT.
I
yeah,
could have done that.
Yeah. Because
done that.
it
It's definitely-
doesn't seem like there's
I
anything
think because
unique
it's-
about the beaver's hair.
It's aquatic mammal, and I think that's part of it because it's hair and it has to be wet. Usually that has to do with down there. So I'm trying to think of things I could say. I'm trying to like say this so I don't get in trouble on the radio. You already had to edit it once. I don't want to get in more trouble.
Yeah,
You're
'cause
fine.
There's a lot of like small hairy mammals
Yeah.
that exist that you could have used as a
1940s is when this came out.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Does it
I
have
would
anything
say.
to do with like the platypus?
I'm just gonna let GPT take over here
Because they do kind of have the same hair.
Here we go. Little ChatGPT answer.
The slang term beaver, as a reference to a woman, specifically her genitalia, originated in North American slang in the early to mid-20th century, most commonly around the 1940s. It's a crude and sexualized term used primarily by men, and it draws on the visual association between a beaver's fur and pubic hair. The animal imagery aligns with a long history of using animals to refer to human anatomy in vulgar slang. Its mainstream popularization came through things like old soldier and frat boy humor, pinup culture, and eventually movies and comedy routines in the 70s and 80s.
That checks out.
So yeah, it's a vintage term rooted in old school objectification and hair-based metaphors. Not exactly a high point of linguistic evolution.
No, get off your high horse, AI.
You think you're better than me? I love old school objectification and hair-based metaphors.
But just out of like quantity of animals around, you would think it would be like, oh, look at that shepherd. Like the more German shepherds are around, or like
Man,
the
this guy's
dogs.
killing the. We're having a fun pervert party, and this guy's like, and I'm like,
that's
hey, look
weird
at that
that-
beaver, and then the nerd over here is like, excuse
That's not
me,
the right kind of
there are
hair.
other animals you could have selected, sir, that would have been better for your
Well, there's-
metaphor.
We're just more common amongst society than the beaver. Like,
The
probably.
United States, you were always after a beaver hunt. Usually because that's what they made hats out of back in the day.
But a fox is a small hairy animal that used to hunt all
Fox
the time.
was
wouldn't
another
trap-
term for ladies.
Yeah, but
Fox,
you wouldn't trap them though.
not
That's the
for their
thing.
parts, but a fox is a term you would use for a woman.
Yeah, but you would think that that's what the fox would get the like. Look at that foxtail down there. Instead of beaver, it's
Yeah, but it's not- it doesn't match up because usually foxes are usually red.
Justin in the chat room says, "Will Tom critique and criticize the boys this much and this often?"
Yeah, that's what I
no, absolutely not.
God, no.
If his son said that Belichick's girlfriend is running the team, he's like, "Yes, sir, boys, I love you." And he'll smooch
No,
their
this is why my wife hates me, and everybody around me hates me. You see what I'm saying? I do this to them.
Do you really do it to your boys?
They don't say anything. I have no opinions. So I
They've
tell
given
them,
up already. Good
Wait
for
till
them.
you just talk to
They're
yourself?
smarter than we are.
Yeah, I brought this up. I'll like they'll say something and I'm like, why do they do that? And then I start talking and then they're like, boring. He's like that British guy from the Parliament.
Maisie will look
They
at
got
me
that.
while I'm explaining something, and she'll be like, "Are you done? Because I really want to say something to mommy."
Oh, that would hurt my heart if my daughter said that to me.
Yeah, it kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.